I'm going to stick around for a bit, make some phone calls so that the neighbor doesn't get too mad and call immediately too.
Of course,
so I'm going to stick around for a little bit.
That would be awesome.
Hopefully that'll be bad.
Well, we really appreciate you here and lifetime tickets to Sublime.
I
appreciate it.
Yes.
Luckily, man.
Well, it only goes to the sun explodes, and not only hope that you know I owe you my life. Well, do you know I owe you my life? Well, do you know while I was thinking about you at your favorite bar, they were playing old pornos on the VCR. Why should I feel so close to you when you are so far? That night I dreamed when I got home, I heard your voice on my telephone, and when I woke up, I was all alone. When the sun slowly rose on that lonely coast, and I only hope that you know I owe you my life. Well, do you know I owe you my life? Until the sun blows up in the sky, I owe you my life. Into the spots you used to go, I hear you coming through the radio. It's always at the strangest moments, it's almost like you know, cause you sing those songs the way you do. People get up, making love and they want to move. It's so truly, truly true. So now what can I do? The sun slowly rolls on that lonely coast, and I only hope that you know I owe you my life. Well, do you know I owe you my life? Do you know I owe you my life? My only one, my lullaby, and unloaded gun, I'm alive. Do you know I owe you my life? Until the sun blows up in the sky, I owe you my life. It's so good now, hard to believe. Is this how it's supposed to be? Should have been for you instead of me. I don't know what people say. The sun will explode in the sky someday. That's so very far away. So right now we're okay. But it only goes to the sun explodes, and I hope you know I'll always owe you my life. Do you know I owe you my life? Do you know I owe you my life? My only one, my lullaby, and the loaded gun, I'm alive. Do you know I owe you my life? Do you know I owe you my life? Do you know I owe you my life? Until the sun blows up in the sky, I owe you my life. Hey!
Don't keep that on the record.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Hulk and Spaceshot show. We came in with a new song from Sublime. Yes, the band from the 90s everybody remembers out there. Before their debut album, 1994, Sublime. Unfortunately, the lead singer overdosed on heroin, and they went on to have a historic career of selling records and not touring. Well, his son is around and old enough and has taken the helm of the band of Sublime, and now is the lead singer and have pulled out their first song. So tell me what you guys all think about that new Sublime song. Comments out there? Good morning, Mr. Spaceshot.
Good morning, Vietnam. Oh, good morning out there, my fellow world patriots. Yeah, dude, I was just sitting there listening. I was kind of doing some things, looking at some things on the thing. I wasn't really looking at the dude's face, and I said that sounded like him, and I'm like, he looks weird though. I'm like, that don't look like the guy as I remember him. But yeah, pretty damn close. I would say it sounded pretty good.
Yes, it's interesting, the old bands that come around, and obviously I absolutely love the 90s vibe that's inside that video there. If anybody remembers way back in the day, we all used to ride our bikes and skateboards and had marks on our legs from falling, and the bear claw that ran up your shin while you're riding your bike. We all remember those days, and we have the whole skateboard deal from the 90s because that's all we had. It was either ride a bike, or skateboard, and the hell, we ain't walking. We don't walk. Hell no. We would rather die than go walking. So we had the other two modes of transportation, and away we went. And they were over here doing the full skateboard deal with the full backyard, the pool, the whole thing. Remembers back in the day of high school. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we were. I had my little skateboard phase there for a little bit. I wasn't very good, so I wasn't much the trickster. But yeah, a little bit of traveling from here to there. But mainly we were BMX bikes back in the day. Leave at 8 in the morning, come back at 8 at night, and just go throughout the whole state and from Warwick to a couple different towns over from where I grew up. But yeah. I remember it fondly, the times hanging out with my friends and just kind of playing kickball and sports and stuff like that. Manhunt, getting shot with the neighbor's salt pellet gun for, hiding in his blueberry patch, stuff like that. But, nowadays people might get arrested and for certain things back then,
Yeah, you remember you'd be gone all day? I mean, all day. I mean, I still can't remember what the hell I ate for food the entire day, or we drank out of the hose, I guess. I remember that, but, food was kind of an option there at that point. We were just going, the whole time. And then you came home and, nowadays you came home, your parents would yell at you. You've been gone 12 hours. I haven't seen you all day. What if you got kidnapped? And, back then when we came home, they started yelling at us because we didn't take out the trash or do the dishes before we left. And then they're pissed. And then they're not going to feed us anyways. You could fend for yourself for that point because you weren't there for dinner. Dinner was at 6 o'clock and it's already put away. So you're screwed. That's the way it worked for us. And did we complain about what we were given? Hell no, we ain't going to complain about it, because one time I remember we were eating, this is because I'm a twin, I was eating with my brother and with mom because she worked, came home. She cooked, what was it, some sort of shrimp, Chinese food, something or other. Anyways, we were arguing back and forth on whose turn it was for the dishes itself. And she basically got mad and stood up and grabbed all the dishes and threw them in the backyard. That was her dealing with two teenage sons at home. They were arguing about dinner and dishes, and just throw the whole thing in the backyard. And always the funny quote from my brother from another mother dude across the street, Ben, who would be in my house before I got home. But his mom, because he was homeschooled with a Christian teacher, the whole thing. He asked his mom asked him, "Hey, how does Mrs. So-and-so get the kids to do dishes?" And he replies, "Oh, she throws all the shit in the backyard."
That's hilarious.
So
we
didn't have problems with dishes after that.
That's hilarious. I would have said you're both going to do it. If I hear you guys complaining, you're going to be doing it together for the rest of your life. That's funny.
You got any stories like that?
Oh, God. Stories. I get stories for days, dude. Oh, geez, I'm trying to think of what I can share. Yeah, we had some crazy times at the house too. The one that I can think of the funniest was me in my late teens, drunk as a skunk. I don't even know, 17 I think I was. I pissed all over my brother's Foot Locker. I was sharing a room with him, and I just remember like opening my eyes, and my mother's like, "Michael, have you been drinking?" No, drinking? No, what are you talking about? And I just see the hand come down, smack. And I'm like, I'm numb. I don't feel a thing. And I'm like, I wasn't drinking. And she's like, really? You pissed all over your brother's Foot Locker. Here's a good one my brother did to me one time. I used to sleepwalk a lot when I was younger. And apparently I went down my hallway. We had our laundry hamper at the end of the hallway. At the end of the hall, it was like my mother's bedroom, the other bedroom on the side. It was like a 3-bedroom house. And the laundry hamper at the end of the hallway. So, you go there and you flip the thing up and you put the laundry in. Well, by all accounts, I was walking down the hallway, waking, in the middle of the night, and I flipped up the lid of the laundry hamper like it was the toilet, and I was about to take a pee in that one. And I guess he picked me up and put me inside of it, so I woke up in the hamper later on. That was a fun one.
That's where they got the idea for Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke in the very beginning, pissing in the laundry hamper when the toilet's behind you.
So yeah, didn't do much heavy drinking after that time. That was bad. That was some tequila and some beer in a very short order, and And that was a time, that was we had a bunch of people down Rocky Point, which was a amusement park down there. And I remember very specifically crawling to my buddy's Camaro, his early 90s, late 80s Camaro. I remember people walking past me like, oh, that dude don't look so good. And me going, I just got to make it to the car. I'm good. And he said I look like Snoop Dogg in the Dr. Dre video when he drops him up and he's like spins like 6 times going to the house. I'm like, how bad were you? How bad were you?
Exactly.
But yeah, not too much of the drinking type. I don't.
Well,
get, get like that
with your
excess.
moms and stuff, how many kids she have in the household at that time when
Three boys.
she's running a household? 3 boys, no girls, right?
No girls allowed.
No girls allowed, dude. Good Lord. And what was the age stretch between the kids?
5, 7. So my brother I share a birthday with as well, but he's 7 years older, and my other brother's 5 years older than me. So 3 boys, and we were probably going through a gallon of milk like every 6 hours.
Oh my God, yeah, because that's the way it worked in my house. Because we were 2 plus our third brother across the street, and I had an older sister. She was 6 years older. So she took care of us in the very beginning, would always torture us and those sort of things. And, send you running to the bus or school in the morning, like half hour early. And you're the first one there because you're going to be late for the bus and you went running, or leave the cheese on your wrapper when you go to eat your sandwich and you take a big bite out of it. And the Velveeta cheese wrapper is still on there from the American cheese. Remember those? Always do stuff like that. But she also do cool stuff, make sandwiches look like Pac-Mans and stuff like that. So there was some cool stuff she did, but she made sure that she tortured us pretty good, to be honest with you. And only one time did I ever use my twin powers for bad. I remember when I was a kid, and obviously mom works, used cars salesman for Hertz. So, and she's an Irish lady that likes to drink. So yeah, you got the whole thing wrapped into one. So it's a firecracker when you look at it. And, she came into the room just like livid about something. Where the hell is so-and-so? That's me. I'm in the bedroom. Down the hallway it goes, door bust open, whole 10-minute conversation about something. Don't you ever do that again, blah, blah, blah. He's out in the living room, came back out. No. Don't you ever effing do that again. Went back in the kitchen.
I would have been doing
it's the only time I ever used it.
I would have been switching class. I would have tried to look exactly identical as much as I could to, do the classes that he liked and switch vice versa. Here's a good comment, Hulk. Adult.
Well, personality, a lot of people can tell pretty easily, but visually, there's only a 5% difference. And like the doctor said, they both had the same mother and father.
Gotta be a good actor. A Dutch Crumbler says, imagine arguing with your parents about anything. LOL. It's definitely not like today. I've told this before, like my grandfather, the only time I ever seen that man mad was my brother stuck his tongue out at him as we're driving down the highway. I was like, oh, I said, oh, stick his tongue out. I'm like, oh, that's funny. He stuck his tongue out at Granddad. Oh, that's funny. Granddad just backhanded him. Never seen Granddad mad once. It is like, don't ever stick your tongue out at me again. I was like, oh my God. Never seen him mad ever, but that was
the only time I've seen my grandfather get pissed is when we stayed over at the movies too long and saw a double feature, and he came between and nobody was there, and he went back home and he watched the deal and was on the way to pick us up on the second round. We told him to come pick us up, but we didn't call him and tell him. He didn't have a problem. We stayed longer. Just he drove down there thinking he's going to pick us up, and we weren't there. And opened up the door. You guys are assholes. It's the only time I've seen him cuss ever. So I was like, oh, wow. We used to respect our grandparents, because I remember when we grew up as kids, we feared our relatives. We did not want to act out in front of them because we knew we'd get our ass beat. And I was okay with that.
Is it G Quick says, tagging Cisco says, 1 foot on the floor to keep the bed from spinning. And Bree says,
no, that was the rule at the dinner table at my house. 1 foot on the floor.
1 foot.
It came from the grandparents.
Elbows up.
Which means you couldn't stand on the table to eat food. So you had to leave 1 foot on the floor. That was the household rule from my dad's side of the family.
Yeah, my Moore says yes, and my mother did have her hands full there. Bree says, boy mama here as well. 9 years. He says I have a brother 9 years younger. Dude, my son's friend, so he went and got that award yesterday. They had it at a golf club, and some Republican fundraiser for the whole Charlie Kirk thing. Where his teacher said,
blah, blah, blah. Say that again.
Remember I told you how remember the thing where my son got on Fox News because his teacher was like, Charlie Kirk was a horrible person, deserved to die.
Oh yeah.
All the kids stood up, so he got an award for that, and then got a little award for that yesterday evening. But the person that he went with, one of his good friends there, he's 15, and the mother has a newborn, or actually not even a newborn. The newborn's not even born yet, so still on the way in another 3 months or something like that. So a 15-year-old and then having an absolute brand new newborn, 15 years apart. That'd be kind of running around, huh?
No. Definitely no.
Get some help from the older kids.
Oh my God, you got to babysit your brother. Oh my God, that'd be crazy. So we get into some show stuff. Are we eating up enough at the beginning of the show?
Sure, let's do some stuff. Why, is there things going on in the world?
A little bit, like important things. Like, I ran by this. You want to read that?
Oh, let me get this. Important things. That's James Tolkien, Back to the Future's Mr. Strickland. Died at 94. Slackers.
Yeah, he was also in Top Gun, dude, yelling at Tom Cruise saying you're going to be flying a plane load of rubber dog shit out of Hong Kong or whatever it was.
I can't believe I have to do this. I have to send you two clowns to Miramar.
He was a great actor, dude. So I was like, oh man, yeah, all the greats are starting to die. But he, going back in the day, back in '83, I thought he was old then. He was probably in his late 40s then. We all feel old.
Movies are, guys, any ideas for any new movies or even older movies that are good that maybe I haven't seen? So just put any good old movies in the thing, because there's slim pickings nowadays, dude. I saw that Mercy the other day. It was pretty good. He has to use AI. He has 90 minutes to basically go to kind of a futuristic thing where all the information's put on the cloud, and like video, you can see everything. So you can pull up almost everything, phone records, blah, 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 blah. That was
what was this movie?
It was called Mercy. The dude Chris Pratt from Jurassic Park and Parks and Recreation, and that other show there with the friggin' gems or whatever, that big dude. Anyways, Avengers or whatever. He was from Avengers, but yeah, he wakes up and he's like, he's sitting in this seat and he's got 90 minutes to proclaim his innocence, and he's using an interface AI that the police now use, and I forgot what the name of it is, but you basically have 90 minutes to go through all the information and get your guilty level approximation to lower than 92%, or by the time the counter counts down to 0, then it zaps you and you're dead. You're immediately executed. Pretty good. But other than that, dude, I mean, there is very much slim pickings for shows and movies and stuff. I mean, where are the, Breaking Bads and the Game of Thrones and things like that? We need some more stuff like that.
Well, what did they do? They're bringing back, what did I hear recently? They are going to do Harry Potter, and they've decided to replace the character Snape with a black gentleman. So now he's out there doing a whole rap promotion type thing, like doing a wheelie on the freaking stupid flying broom while dressed as Snape inside Harry Potter and rapping at the same time. And everybody's tearing this dude apart because, he went from Snape being, the white dude. I can't remember the name of the actor, but very well done actor. And some people are comparing the other actors that are white that look just like him, that would have been a better choice. But as we see the DEI structure still being pushed out there, because they did that to Star Trek, and everybody's talking about how they totally screwed that thing up. So I thought that was interesting to see some of this DEI stuff still being pushed through these types of channels and still trying to make it, and everybody's still saying it's total shit, and and destroying some of the legacy programming that we grew up with.
It's getting slim pickings out there. Absolutely. Oh, Beverly Hills Cop 4 is on Netflix. It was good. It was feeling.
I saw. What did I see? The creator on Netflix. which is an interesting movie. It's probably one of those foreign movies. It's still all English, but it's not American based, so it's more of an Asia style type movie. But there's a lot of famous actors that you recognize inside the movie, and it's about AI war, basically, and how the world dealt with it, and they want to eradicate the AI, and it's pretty good. They did a pretty good job at it, so I'd go check that out, called The Creator.
Awesome.
All right, what else we got? Here, I threw this in here because this is the only time I've ever seen Trump talk about this particular person. So, yeah, here's this for you, Mr. Spaceshot.
Love it.
And there's all of these young people across America are watching Love Story, which is the story of JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette. And I'm curious, Did you know JFK Jr.? And do you have any nostalgia for the 90s?
So, yeah, a little bit. But actually, I love the 80s a little more than the 90s. The 90s, I was fighting hard. You know, we were in sort of a depression, a countrywide depression. And depressions aren't great when you're in the real estate business, but I did great in it. I did well. I always made money. I made money in good times and bad times. But it was, it was a sort of a nasty time economically a lot of the nights. But I actually knew him and liked him, and he liked me, believe it or not. He actually put me on the cover of his magazine, George. And I got to be friendly with him, and he would go down to Mar-a-Lago with me and with Carolyn. It was a tragic thing. Look, he was going to sell that magazine, which was, a little bit of an anchor. It didn't work out too well, but it was okay, but it was fine. Today, magazines are not doing too well, but in those days, they'd be all right. It was all right, but it wasn't great and wasn't good for him. His mother he wanted to be a Broadway actor more than any other thing. He wanted to be a Broadway. I knew him very well, actually. He liked me. Can you believe it? He liked me. And I liked him. Let me tell you, he's a very handsome guy. He was a handsome guy. You don't get better looking. And he was going to run for politics. He was going to run for the Senate. He told me. And nobody would have beaten him. And he probably would have ended up being president because he had a lot of good things. He was sort of a great guy. I knew them both pretty well. I knew him much better. They would go down to Mar-a-Lago together. And they had a very interesting relationship. They would bicker. I want to be nice. They would bicker together. They would, in other words, have little fights. And then they'd make up and start kissing wildly. So it was one of those relationships. And you never know how those relationships are going to turn out, frankly. I've seen them go on for years, and I've seen them go on for about 2 days before they broke up. But they would bicker like few people I've ever seen. But the bottom line is, and every woman loved him. He was a truly good-looking guy that was a nice guy, and I think he would have been the senator easily. I mean, easily. And he's going to run for the Senate in New York, and I think he would have gone on perhaps to be the president.
So interesting comments coming out of him. I've never heard him talk about said family, so like that.
No, I'd never seen him talk about them arguing either. That was interesting. But dude, and interesting post when he went on, when President Trump, Citizen Trump back in the day went on, I think it was 1999 or 2000, around the time where he, quote, died or whatever. And then he shows a letter that JFK Jr. wrote to Donald Trump about the passing of his father, but I think his father died after JFK did, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I thought it. Well, something here, like a comment from chat over here on my side. True Heart says JFK Jr. wanted to be central casting.
Dude, and did you notice too, right? How many documentaries and / movies have we seen from JFK Jr. In like the last 10 years? And then ask yourself, why didn't we see any in the first, 10 years after he died? Like, where were they from 99 to, 2015, 16, 17? But all of a sudden in 17, 18, we see some. And then I think there was some in like 2022. And I know there's even more again. But it's like, as soon as he died, they waited a good 15 years to do any of them. But now they're doing them on repeat. So I'm not saying the dude's alive, but I'm just saying there was a lot of weird stuff around his death. Very, very weird things.
Another thing I didn't prep for the show, but I'm going to allow the audience to chew on it. You could believe it wherever you want to. I think it's total bullshit. But obviously, everybody remembers the Q&A back in the day. We only had one of them, and they asked about, did we go to the moon? I have flat Earth. What was the answer on JFK Jr.? Is he alive?
It was negative.
Okay. So some people have gone back through and looked at that particular post, and you go click in the links, and then you go look through the replies, and you could see the question and answer session in the bread, because the bakers have to make the bread, and then they bring over the most important post from the previous bread to the next bread, so then they can keep posting, because there's only, I can't remember how many posts it needs to be that are in there. And you could see it specifically posts the Q&A, JFK Jr. alive, a direct answer, no. And if you go down probably a good 3 pages, still in the same bread, it'll be connected to that post, and it's got a Q. It actually shows, it's in the video, it shows the blinking for the Q and all that, and it says yes to that. I can't remember the time. I think it's after the original post itself, but I'd like to point out to everybody out there that those particular forums had been moved and turned off and reposted back up there again.
Yep.
So those were lost and then reposted. We also know that that group over there, I can't remember the guy that runs that crap over there.
I got it for you
what's
too.
his name?
Oh yeah. I got that link.
What's the? Well, I mean, if you want to, I mean, you can, but
well, I'm showing here on my side.
We beat that fucking post up when that thing came out, dude. There was millions of people looking at those posts, and that post wasn't there. So we got to be kind of careful the way that stuff comes around and the way that people are posting it together. And then like somewhere down here, somebody freaking finds it or whatever, Well,
no, you make a good point, dude, because when you go to this post, December 12th, 2018, and then I go back here and I'm looking at 12/12/2018, the post at 18:43:11, and I highlight over that, it says no, Q. Well, what is that? 480-193. I highlight that, it says, oh, is Seth Rich alive? So he's responding to, is Seth Rich alive at 18:42. I got to see what that post timing is on this one here. So
the way it works, just to point out right here, when it shows Q&A queue and all the replies here, reply to this particular post that's up here, and there's only so many that can be inside this particular post, is what it comes down to. So the baker, when this whole thing gets full down here and they need to move it over to the next page, they're going to take whatever they decide to and move it to the next post over. So then people can dig more on whatever they picked, this one right here, and moved it over to the other side. Or this one here, and moved it to the other side, so then more people can make comments and interact with the post itself. But it's hard to quantify any of this stuff that's here now, is because this stuff has been reposted and removed and is up there again. So I don't know. Thoughts on that?
And dude, I'm looking at I'm not really sure what you're showing on your side, but like if you're showing the same thing, but like, dude, look at some of the posts that were there, like the one, is he alive or whatever, and then look at the timestamps on it, just to give people an idea of how many people were on the boards and how often. Because, dude, I just scrolled down like half the screen, and like, let me go.
It's like all under 30 seconds.
Yeah. Right here, 1824. So if I go over here, this is 1824, but as I kind of go down to where he was posting, 1834, so 18, so that's 6:34 and 24 seconds, and then 34 and 25 seconds, 34 and 27 seconds, 34 and 42 seconds.
Yeah,
same.
I see it.
Yeah, I mean, so like, dude, they're over and over and over. There was so many people. That's why I try to remind folks that, there's tens of millions of people just like us out here that want to see some things go a certain way. And if it doesn't, then, either way, something's going to happen. Put it that way.
Yeah, so I just want to point some of that stuff out. I kind of pay attention to it. I kind of don't, and some of this stuff is just outlandish for me, because we stared at those posts, forever. I'll go rolling all the way up to the election time out there, and never saw any of those particular posts show up there. And any one of the anons that were digging back in the day that knows how that shit works would have posted that stuff a long time ago. We would have saw that stuff come out in 2018, 2019, if that was actually true. So just wanted to point that type of things out. So I don't know where else to put it, but lots of new style stuff coming. So yeah, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, no, and that's very interesting. And times have changed for sure. And remember, they basically locked up 8chan, remember? And then it was, what was that? It was 2019, I think, when the whole place was kind of bricked. Remember, we couldn't even get into it for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some fun times, dude. Yes, it was absolutely craziness. Crazy times. The Instagram stuff with going over to Rachel Chandler's locked Instagram account and then showing it. Oh, it's unlocked all of a sudden somehow. That's cute. How did that happen? Wink, wink.
Yeah, that was interesting. We got to see a lot of cool stuff back in the day, which most of the newest people missed and don't get to see that influence of a lot of the stuff. I mean, shit, I stayed home for fucking Release the Memo with Devin Nunes back in 2018 on a Wednesday and watched that freaking hashtag crawl all the way around Twitter, and Betty White, came up and took over the algorithm. But it was quite impressive, some of the things that we were doing back in the day. So yeah. Let's get back into it. What else do I got here? Oh, yeah. You hear about Jill's Secret Service agent shoots himself while accompanying the former First Lady through Philadelphia airport? You hear about this?
It happens,
It sucks to be on your first day and you shoot yourself in the leg. Would you like to read the story of what actually happened?
Yeah.
Here we go. Go and read it for everybody.
New details about the agent who shot himself earlier today while accompanying Jill Biden to the Philly airport. The agent was apparently rushing and fumbling around after forgetting his cell phone in the SUV. The agent was only 1 week on the job with the Jill Biden detail. He was in the SUV behind the one Biden was traveling in. He left to accompany Jill Biden to the airport, but soon realized he forgot his cell phone. Agent rushed back to get it, and his pistol fell out of the holster and was lying on the seat. He grabbed his pistol quickly, negligently fired it as he was trying to put it back in the holster. He shot his butt cheek. He went to the hospital where he's recovering and expected to be released later today. Guess what, Hulk? That butt cheek will heal up, but I don't know about the pride. It's going to take a hit.
Oh, he took it in the butt. Oh my God. And then if you're also paying attention, if you remember the Secret Service agents involved in the Butler incident out there, the lead girl that was there, the kind of chunky girl with the braids in her hair. No, it's not her, but it had come out last week that she was dating an illegal immigrant or married an illegal immigrant and now has immigration issues and stuff like that. So, and it's a girlfriend because she's a lesbian. Just as long as we get all the points on the story out there.
Oh my God.
So yeah, Secret Service is just doing great this week. So good luck, guys out there. What else I got for you?
Most interesting outcome.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so you're doing a little moving down in Mississippi in the public safety and whatnot, or unpacking and moving to a new headquarters out there. And you go back in the back and you find some old stuff out there from the previous law enforcement days.
Wow. Let's see. Exalted Cyclops 1, Clalif, Clexeter, Clabby. What the hell is that? Anybody in the chat know what those names are? Clalif and Clexter and Clabby. They all start with K. That's obviously one thing. But yeah, I mean, this is what I've been saying over the years, right? Like, when they start pushing around the word racism so much, it takes, the meaning of this stuff out. Oh, he's racist. Oh, he's racist. Oh, he's racist. It's like, no, you demean that word when this was what the real racism was. And that's why I say, like, all these people acting like we're in 1952 Mississippi, like it's that movie Mississippi Burning and, Samuel L. Jackson. Yes, I'm glad they're dead, and I hope they burn in hell.
Burn in hell.
Know ye. All something, these are imperial. Oh God, just I mean, look at the font at the top. It's all nice, and then they started writing.
Here,
like,
you can take a
like
look at the story if you want.
They started
You
writing
want to
like
read
a
a little bit of
6-year-old.
it?
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
dropping the show link out there, so anybody who wants to drop a song, leave a song. Show link being dropped across all the chats. So go drop your favorite song into Twitter and then go vote for one. So periodically through the show, you need to go back and take a look.
Does the song from Deliverance count with the banjos, dueling banjos? Ding, ding,
As long as
ding,
it's not spoken word.
Okay, this public safety in Mississippi were packing up and moving to a new headquarters. And they found several items connected to the state's extremist past stashed in a closet. Ku Klux Klan artifacts, including a robe, meeting notes, ledgers, propaganda materials, and even a list of members who had or hadn't paid their dues, were discovered in a suitcase in the building. $10, $10. Hey. Date back to
They're
the
like
1960s.
$3, $5.
Oh yeah, $3 on the left side, and the right side I see 10s and 5s and $1.50s. When membership in the Klan exploded in response to the civil rights movement, the items were donated to the Mississippi Department of Archives and History for preservation. They include a charter for the White Knights of the Ku Klux Klan found in the suitcase, and it details the organization's mission to, quote, effectively and intelligently destroy any and all agents or agencies of Satan whensoever they may detect any such demons in human flesh at their evil and treasonous work. Oh, look at that. That's cute. Would that say sacred altar? Outer den, inner den, utility area, official clavern with a K, form with the stations and positions indicated. Wow. Clefs, clad, everything's, aren't they cute? Everything with a K.
Nighthawk. What is this, dude?
Owl. Second halt, first halt, third halt.
Nighthawk. Nighthawk, third halt. Nighthawk. This is interesting.
I mean, I got a Citizens Nighthawk watch. It's not that, though.
The official clavern? Is that right? The official claver form.
Okay, what is what's that word? Let's do clad first.
Did a sixth grader draw this in class?
Right. Seems like it. Clad. C-L-A-D. Right. That says wrong half the time. KKK, what is a clad? I said. In a common standard text means rough draft or something messy scribbled. Well, that would be that whole thing. It's spelled like clad with a K, with a C. Oh, covered and dressed or clad. Online slang. Shortened words. Interesting. Handbook with instructions on how to set up a KKK meeting filled with diagrams. Meeting notes with intentionally vague references so as to protect the identities of members. To confirm the authenticity of the found materials, local news outlets reached out to the son of Byron de la Dele Beckwith, a man convicted in 1994 of killing Mississippi NAACP leader Medgar Evers in 1963. Isn't that the boy that they dragged? Or that's
I'm not sure.
Beckwith's son told the paper the handbook found at NDPS office called the Chloron. That's interesting, isn't it? Almost like the Quran, but without the Chloron. Adding the original was written on a long scroll. Ain't that cute? Department of Public Safety manages law enforcement training and oversees divisions including Mississippi Highway Patrol, state bureaus, and the state crime lab. So, wow.
I wonder if they're going to put that in the state museum and show some of their history.
They probably will. I mean, as much as you don't want to advertise the stuff, I think you should show it just to show how screwed up people were and how different things were.
Oh, that's just so great. What else do we got? Ran by this. You read the tagline at the top.
Home Alone 2 actors and their mugshots. What happened with this guy now?
No, there's just old mugshots.
Oh, it's an old one? Okay, cool. Good. Okay, good. I'm
like, just throwing it out there because I thought it was entertaining because they're both in the same movie. They got mugshots.
I don't know what to make of him, dude, on the left. What do you think? And let me set the table with you.
He's a conservative dude because it seems like he don't want to play on the left. And if he was in the left group, you would still see him in movies today, but he's not. And he's done some pretty stuff that's outside the box, in my opinion. Because, doing the Charlie Sheen with, what's his name? They did that Matt Wright video about the Home Alone and he's shooting the guy that's robbing his house. I mean, it's funny, dude. So, yeah.
Yeah, but then you had the weird one with, he was in like the Kardashian video too, acting like kind of a weirdo. But maybe he got paid a lot of money to do it. Who knows what his net worth is nowadays.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's that. What else do we got for you? Oh, yeah, ran by this.
Curious how much American farmers are benefiting right now, or exactly how much each state has saved? OnlyFarms.gov. Oh. Really? Are they trying to appeal to the like livestock and stuff? They're gonna be trotting cows around across and be like, "Check out my cow." You can check them out on OnlyFarms.
They did. Well, it's more for showing what they're going to do to help out the farmers and whatnot that are out there. Because obviously they're having problems with crops and to the made in America beef type thing that they're going to start instituting to say that it needs to be made in the United States. And then the whole Argentina story came out that, I don't know, did you hear about the one where China refuses, what was it, like 22 tons of beef into their country? And you heard about that story in the last couple of days? I went back and looked, and that story's from 2023. So we got to be careful because we are bringing in a large amount of the beef from Argentina into the United States, which we have to keep up with the market because the way that the beef cycle works. And since we killed all those cows early, it takes them between 3 and 6 years to get to a slaughter weight or a birthing weight. So they can go ahead and start producing. So you got a 4-year cycle, and Trump just started, and he's all make cows great again and start bringing the market back around. But those cows are not even 2 years old. So just put that in perspective. And it's going to be another 2 years before they're even ready, A, for a slaughter or to even have cows. And half of them are going to be milk cows and not beef cows.
And we're going to have some, the farmers are going to definitely need some help there for sure. But dude, that is funny. OnlyFarms. OnlyFarms.
They even had the OnlyFarms website, dude. They had the full-on gold tractor and everything up there, dude.
Yeah, we gotta make a parody on that one later. check out my sheep on OnlyFarms.
OnlyFarms.
You got a pretty mouth.
So it should go pretty good. The other thing is they're doing
I think I'm gonna see.
We're going to talk about PixelNot too, but anyways, the other thing is they're doing the E15 and E10, which means they're going to put ethanol in all the fuel across the United States itself. And some people started to freak out that, it's going to ruin your engine and all those sort of things. And I tried to point out to the gentleman there that we're freaking ringing the bell that this is going to ruin their engines, that my car's an 01 Maxima with 256,000 miles on it, and it's on California gas the entire time, and I don't have any other problems that they have. And they said, well, you're going to start having problems with fuel lines. The car's 25 years old, dude. It could have a problem with anything. And never mind the fact that I got an 07 Silverado on the same gas that's got like the same amount of mileage on it. So what is it supposed to happen? Still waiting.
Yeah, it's they keep playing their games with this stuff, but they're trying to find a way to maximize it. You got to make sure it doesn't screw your car up as well.
Yeah, so it doesn't. I mean, if you left it in there and let it sit for a long period of time, you might have some problems, but that'd be fuel stabilizer and stuff like that. And hopefully we get away from the summer-winter blend bullshit that California tries to do and just get back to one blend, hopefully, and then we'll see what we could do. So that's going down with the OnlyFarms, which I find extremely funny. That was awesome. OnlyFarms.
OnlyFarms.com.
So I just wanted to throw this one out there because I thought this was funny because everybody's talking about PixelNot and the pixelated. So I wanted to pop one out there from good old the Obamas out there. And I find it interesting that the White House is doing a lot of these videos out there, and a lot of people are going back and referencing the old photos. Like one of them was the famous red photo that they're pointing to. I think the stance is a little off because it looks like it's more from a seating position than when Trump's being in a standing position, holding the folder behind the stage and whatnot. So I just wanted to throw some of that stuff out there, that was going on out there. So anyways, and they were using PixelKnot because that's the other thing. PixelKnot was the program that allowed you to take a photo and then hide text into the photo, and then you could send the photo to somebody else and you give them the password, they type in the password, and PixelKnot would basically bring the message out so you could read it. So right around there, we had the Obama famous photo of him on that chair in front of that weird hedge, and everybody's looking at all the areas around the hedge to see if they could see anything that's in there. And then we were running that through PixelKnot and picking up the post from the Q team, whatever passwords or stuff that we could possibly think, and put it into there and see if we could decode the message going through that particular Obama photo and others on top of it. So I remember the PixelKnot stuff, but it wasn't pixelated back then. They were normal photos. So I just wanted to point that out too, because the ones the White House are doing are pixelated. So people went and posted about PixelKnot. So just to kind of give you a little history on that.
Yeah, and somebody had pulled out. I think I showed it the other day, but basically somebody had pulled out like, oh, did I get it right? Is this 1 for 1, 2 for 2, 3 for 3? And I was showing it the other day to all the different pictures that seemed like they were accurate anyway.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's keep going. What else do we got here? Let's go get this one out there because we got an election coming up here in November, and this is local news.
You know, you're known as a reality TV star. Do you think that that is, in your campaign for Los Angeles mayor to run the biggest city in California, is that a label that you embrace? Is that hurtful to your campaign, or does it help, you think?
I mean, the reality, pun intended, is that was from 20 years ago. And if we look at what Karen Bass was doing 20 years ago, she was in Cuba learning how to make bombs with the people that would then go bomb Capitol Hill. So if we're looking at backgrounds, I'm pretty proud of what I was doing at 20 on reality television, even though it was, you know, I may not have been the most likable character. It was still TV versus trying to destroy America and going to Cuba 20 times and praising Fidel Castro. So against my opponent, my background's pretty strong.
Oh, yeah. We remember those days. That's all the Weather Underground and Bill Ayers and the Rules for Radicals. And just you could bump that all into one particular deal where they bombed this Capitol there. So, yeah.
Right? It was 83. And yeah, they actually did it. And guess what? I'm pretty sure that those people were pardoned by Bill Clinton. Don't hold me to that, but like a good part of my memory is leaning towards they were pardoned.
Yeah, exactly.
I will verify such.
To throw out that type of deal. Here, you can read this for everybody.
Justin, who is this Justin I always see all over X? I don't know, but they never clarify it. Justin, all right. FBI Director Kash Patel's personal email address hacked, says the DOJ. This comes only after a day an Iran-linked Andala hacking group claims it breached the FBI. Soon you will realize that the FBI security was nothing more than a joke.
Supposedly they hacked the Google account and not the email account from Google is what they're talking about over here on this side. They didn't post anything else in there. But they do go through the list and, you know, see a lot of the so-called other tag names that are out there. And, you know, one of the other names they keep throwing out there is a Spider Cash name, which is associated emails. But, I mean, you know how many Kash Patels are on the planet? Or how many spider caches are in Google? If you go search it, it's quite a lot. And a lot of people are associating accounts that may not be tied to the original account, but have like names and then start going through and go, oh, look, this person likes this and that. But even though they don't have any photos or anything associated with it, they're just looking at the other associated social media accounts that are tied into an email address. So you got to take it with a grain of salt on what comes out.
I mean, the one that I dropped you there from the general. Are you calling bullshit on this one, Hulk? Breaking. Kash Patel's hacked email reveals that he was a RN addict under the username Spider Cash. And so, my post to that was, and I'm sorry, but I said, I'm calling absolute BS on this one. Even Grok and ChatGPT both said essentially, no, this claim is not verified, and it looks like a classic Troll bait mixing a real hack with fabricated smut detail. I said, first off, he made a porn account and then put his pretty well-known name, Kash, K-A-S-H, in the screen name. Doesn't have any resources to make a fake named account. I'm not taking any sides on all of this crap. Y'all can have a blast, but when the smoke clears and people are dead wrong about their allegations, I'll be able to sleep at night knowing I wasn't calling an innocent person a criminal. And that's for anybody. That's, I'm not pointing fingers unless I have solid proof at anybody. But yeah, this stuff is just, and then you get these accounts that just push this stuff out with crazy followings. I mean, 250,000 followers. I can start putting the most nonsense out there, and that's how you get followings out there, Hulk, is like the crazy BS stuff that doesn't make sense. And it's mostly
and this is his personal account, you know what I mean? So it's not no government account and stuff. And I've got, my Google accounts from 2009, way back in the day, naming it Hulkanator. So, I mean, come on, you get it? So, yeah.
Cash. Oh my God. It's like, it doesn't make any, like, do you think he would put his real name on there? I mean, maybe he was that brazen, you know what I mean? But like, what position of government you're in. You're at a national security level. And then they said this account, if you look at that other, you don't have to go back to it, but I think that account, it said, was made in 2020, and the last activity was like yesterday.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw the same thing, and I'm like, dude, you guys are stretching this shit way too far, in my opinion. Stay with the facts of which you could prove 100% and stay out of the gray area.
Ooh,
they like hanging out in the gray area because it's good for clicks.
That's exactly what it's good for. And actually, just kind of going back on memory lane and something you were talking about a little while ago, you stayed home to watch the release of certain memos. Now, remind me who helped Devin Nunes counter the Schiff memo and the the deep state, all that stuff way back in like 2018? Who was that guy that helped Devin Nunes? I can't remember. It was some staffer that came in from the Pentagon.
Yeah, he was appointed by the DOJ to send him over to the select committee over there because he was sitting in the same spot as Adam Schiff, who's going to have a nice report coming out on him shortly from the IG out there. But back to this particular story, they needed to make sure they stayed within the rules of the government and be able to see said information from the Spygate operation, hurricane, what was it, Crossfire Hurricane information into the Intel Committee and make sure they can interview the people and bring forth the information publicly without breaking any of the rules. And the person that instituted that with Devin Nunes would be Kash Patel.
Ain't that a coinky dink, Hulk? And as all this stuff seems to be coming back into the fold lately, I'm reading a post from February 11th. Brunel's deputy at DNI was Kash Patel. He's a lead investigator at the Russia probe conducted by the House Intelligence Committee when it was chaired by Republican Congressman Devin Nunes. Payback versus Kash Patel during his confirmation. I see. That's an older post where they're posting up there. But Adam Schiff seems to be a little concerned lately, Hulk, which I like.
Yeah, exactly. So remember, they wrote the freaking the Crossfire Hurricane binder, the red binder everybody talks about, probably the one they went to go pick up at Mar-a-Lago with the FBI raid. They were looking for that binder that they wrote way back then, which still hasn't been released, guys, and it's still hovering around. So next post over here, Trump went down to Mar-a-Lago. We got a post from Dan.
What if I get the copyright again on this one?
We'll bring. Yeah.
If it's live or not.
What's the name of that song?
Oh, None Shall Sleep, is it? That's the translated version.
No, you got to give me the Italian. What's the Italian name?
Oh, God. Not remember. Christopher. Well, all you got to do is wait about 3 seconds, and I know about 16 people in the chat are going to let. Nessun, thank you, Linny Lou. Nessun Dorma. None can sleep, I think it's something like that.
You rock, chat. So he put that out on there. That was the 27th. So that was last night. He popped that out. So I threw back out the one from, what's his name that wrote this? Real Yeah, he did this particular deal, the little simple man out here. So I threw that back out there, and a lot of the audience liked that a lot and hadn't seen that. So I like to always share some of the great work from some of the players out there. So if you haven't had a chance of taking a look at any of that stuff, that's one of them there. You know what? I'm going to go drop it in the show title over here on the Twitterverse and whatnot. So I'll put it right over here. You guys are getting into the show links, so I'll just drop this here. We only got two people? Really?
Good fight. We'll drop the link for you guys.
What? I thought we had audience participation. Are we lazy? What happened?
We're still early in the show here. They come filing in a little bit later. And we also, got to remind them to go over because we've only been doing this for a little, couple weeks now.
Don't make me take my belt off.
Maybe turn this thing around. Dropping a X link in the chat for YouTube and Rumble right now, guys. I'm going to come over to Pilled and Foxhole in a second. I can only drop it here. So that's Hulk's link to there. Go make sure to give him a follow, but also drop a song, like a song, drop a link to a song, and then like another song. Everybody likes their own as well. I would probably do the same thing. I would be conniving like that as well. Get the folks.
In Living Color. Built the person. I've heard that song played live, dude. Great tune.
Go on the old Foxhole. There's the link, guys. Get some of those songs up and going so we can get a good song on the way out of here. No spoken word. no nonsense, por favor. And heading over to the D Live. My channel. Here we go. Here you go, yeah. D Lives. Go drop a song, leave a song, and we'll do some Dominion ESNS Smartmatic voting tallies at the end of said video on the way out of here. But Hulk, by the way, we got all this stuff with President Trump and talking about, he has a few interesting clips from yesterday. It's basically done, we're over, it's not, he's been saying the kind of same thing. But then you have Dan Scavino posting that song right there, and what was going on at the in that movie while that song was playing? They were basically wrapping up all of the bad guys, essentially, as the Americans were signing a deal, I think, with the Russians. Yeah. So I don't know.
Some of all fears.
Some of all fears, yeah. Yep. And I did look up 617 to see if there was anything on there. And
can you give me a quick 30?
Actually, yeah, I'm looking it up on your thing because it wasn't 617.
Give me 30 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was 21:17 because Hulk is 3 hours from us, so that's going to show a 6:17 post on his side of things. If I go over to Dan again, Danny Scavs, let's see. That same post is going to be showing me a little bit differently. But is that telling somebody something or not? Or is that telling us anything or not? March 27th, 47. Am I on the right one here? Oh, I'm on Dan Scavino's personal account. That's why my 47. Pull it over on here so you guys can see. Well, that's a 6:17 timestamp from Hulk on his side. 9:17 here, so it'd be 21:17 drops, which I don't think there was anything in there for that. I could be wrong. 17. 17. 17, no. Oh.
All right, I'm back. Sorry. Thank you.
I was just looking.
The coffee.
No problem. I was just looking at the timestamp on that one. Would have been a 21:17, and it's talking about FISA warrant issued. Mueller, Papadopoulos, target remove silence those illegally targeted for Pfizer surveillance. Clockwork. So
we're still waiting for all that to come out. I mean, we've seen enough evidence, and John Solomon's been saying a lot, but show me the baby.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I don't think he doesn't. He's not a clickbait type of dude. So whatever is going on, he's been, obviously him and dude. Did you see the video Catherine Harridge put out the other day? That 20-minute video. Oof.
About the 9/11 and Epstein and Saudi Arabia and all that.
Yeah, I mean that video. You could do like a 3-hour video on that 20-minute video and let her play it for 2 minutes. Stop, talk about it for a half hour. Let it play for another minute. Talk about it for another half hour. That was crazy. People need to see that stuff for sure.
What else do we got for you? Oh, yeah. Read this for everybody. I didn't, some things I didn't really notice or didn't understand, but go ahead and read that.
All right. After 1984, one of the first bills Democrats signed into law was the National Voter Registration Act of 1993. The NVRA is what prohibited proof of citizenship on the federal application form to register to vote. The Save America Act amends the NVRA. 1993. Clinton?
Yeah, this is Reagan from 83 against Walter Mondale there at the time, and almost won every state in the entire United States, guys.
Except for
1984 actual.
Except for Minnesota. Figures.
They didn't have any Somalis there. Oh, I just thought that was an interesting thing, and they're just basically trying to amend this and put proof of citizenship back in it. Oh, it's crazy. Let's get some Mike Johnson in here, see what he has to say about the whole situation that happened on Friday, where, if you're not paying attention, they signed the SAVE Act through the Senate and gutted a lot of stuff.
What's the House going to do?
Well, in a couple of hours, a little after 10 p.m. tonight, we will pass the clean continuing resolution. Very important, Brian. No partisan gimmicks or tricks here. We didn't add things to it. Just a clean continuation of funding for Department of Homeland Security, 10 agencies beneath it. All those agencies keep Americans safe to make sure we can stay on track. And in those 8 weeks, we will figure this out with Democrats and figure out a couple of reforms or whatever they need to make sure that we do this right. But we are going to protect the homeland. We have to. It's the most important and most basic function of Congress, and Democrats don't want to do that.
All right, so you're going to look to pass that, a simple majority. Have you talked to Hakeem Jeffries? Is he on board with that, or do I have to even ask that question?
Well, I would assume, I certainly hope that some Democrats come along with us tonight. I'm assuming that they will vote no because, again, they advocate for open borders and they don't want enforcement. They would keep those departments completely unfunded, and that's what they've demonstrated by their actions and their antics in the Congress. Their actions speak for themselves. The upcoming election, Brian, is a contrast for America between common sense and crazy. And the Democrats give us new exhibits and illustrations every single day of how crazy their policies are and, frankly, how dangerous.
So, again, they gutted the DHS and spending bills that they were going to give to defend. And also the SAVE Act has been way neutered, and they basically turned it around and voted on it. And it's going to punt it right back to the Democrats. I think they already did it because they tried to vote it in at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And they're like, what are you guys doing here? So, interesting things coming.
Still stuck in a funding fight, partial shutdown. The whole holdup is basically over immigration enforcement, ICE, Border Patrol. That's what's blocking the final deal. Of course, you can't have their voters. Can't kick your voters out of our country. I mean, wait, did I say that out loud? I mean, you can't keep the immigrants out of the country.
Yeah, you can't kick out the 500,000 illegals that are inside San Francisco city limits that vote for Democrats. You can't kick any of them out. And San Diego is now pulling because these new laws start April 1st. They're like, if you're not a legal immigrant green card holder, you are no longer getting any food assistance from the federal government. Now, the states, they could do whatever the hell they want out there. So down in San Diego, we have like 18,000 illegal immigrants that are going to lose food assistance in the city itself. I'm sure they're voting too and are also on public assistance itself. But they're changing the rules, and those rules that are instituted that you have to work so many hours a week are being instituted April 1st. So yeah, all that stuff Trump talked about is starting on the 1st, not to be April Fools or anything like that.
Just kidding.
So that's coming in. What else do we got? Another one of those you can't park here. So Mr. Tiger Woods had a little bit of an incident of him driving. So he evidently tried to pass a particular vehicle, a little bit of high rate of speed, clipped the edge, and rolled over many times here. I did not see any other women with a golf club chasing him down the street at all. So the ex-wife wasn't there, but he has been arrested for DUI, even though he did not blow anything. He blew a 0, so his blood alcohol level was nothing. So they're saying they're probably on the pain pills and some of the other whack stuff out there. But he spent time in jail, about 8 hours, and then he's been released. And somebody had asked Trump about the situation and said it was bad, and he says something along the lines of, Tyler, about the golf. He's saying that he's not going to play. He can't, or something along those lines about some upcoming golf event or something. I'm like, okay, whatever.
What kind of car is that? It looks like a Ford badge on the front of the hood.
Range Rover.
It's a Range Rover.
Range Rover over there on that side, and then ran by that right there.
Range Rover SUV. Yeah, and so maybe another job for Marco. As a favor to President Trump, Marco agrees to be Tiger's caddy to help keep Tiger out of trouble. I mean, dude, get a friggin' how many hundreds of millions are you worth? Like, or maybe half of that now after the last.
Get a driver.
Yeah, get a driver. Jeez, I mean, it's bad, dude. Like, get an Uber.
Yeah.
Like, hey, jeez. But hey, maybe
so that's going along with Golf World.
Dude, maybe he can get an ad in like the next Range Rover commercial. Remember that one where they show him like driving up on rocks and stuff, and they show how it like won't flip over? Maybe they can do some modifications and do a new commercial. It's so good, even Tiger Woods can't roll this one.
Oh yeah. Do Elmo has a comment here. It says, "I've not heard from Hillary in a while. She's actually going to be in New Hampshire because she's running for president. She needs to go to New Hampshire, get some vote support over there. I think it comes up in a month or so. I think she's going to go for it." So other things out here. You heard about this, right? You want to read that for everybody?
Oh, I love it. And I falsely or incorrectly reported, and then I re-edited it. So I'll let you guys know in a second. President Trump's signature will appear on the U.S. paper currency for America's 250th anniversary. The Treasury says, epic. Scott Besson, quote, "There is no more powerful way to recognize the historical achievements of our great country and President Donald J. Trump than U.S. dollars bearing his name, and it is only appropriate that this historic currency be issued at the semi-quincentennial." Say that 3 times fast. And so I reported the other day, Hulk, I was like, oh, look, his name's going to be on there instead of the Secretary of the Treasury. No, it's going to actually be his signature in addition to the Secretary of the Treasury, which should be Scott Besson, right?
Yeah, they're going to take off Janet Yellen's name and put Trump's. Thank God.
Yeah, she's the old one. She gone. But yeah, we've never seen that before. First time a president has done that.
Yeah, and then since we're talking about that, we're going to talk about the pen. You can take a crack at that for everybody.
Can't have a big S on the side of my marker. Trump Sharpies, which sell for hundreds and even thousands of dollars on eBay. The president recounted the last cabinet meeting at the White House. Pens were expensive and didn't write well. He called the head of Sharpie's company and told him he wanted to use their markers, but without the gray color and the big Sharpie logo when signing billion-dollar contracts. The executive offered to paint them black, add the White House seal, and his signature in gold, almost real gold. Trump insisted on paying $5 for each one. The Sharpie exec agreed. Now these black Sharpies with the golden signature are the ones he uses in the White House, and according to him, they've gotten, quote, hot as a pistol, super popular. Sharpie company says they have no record of it, but the markers do exist. Huh.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, $1,000 freaking pens he's handing out when he's signing these particular bills. He's like, yeah, I'm wasting my time when I'm handing these to kids that are 15 years old that don't even know what this is. So we're going to go with the cheap pen, save some money.
He said he would, he would hand out 30 or 40 of them. He's like, so you're handing out $40,000 every time you sign a bill.
Exactly. What else do we got? We're doing gas prices out there, so I'm going to go pull up my map over here. Mr. Spaceshot, you go and pull up your map there, and we want to go ahead and check what the local gas price in your area is going to be. So I want you to put city, state, and the price, and we're going to see what fuel prices are at. I'm looking now.
Ours like
let's just see. Hey, Walmart across the street is $5.44, and the Chevron across the street from them is $6.10. Whoa, and I wonder if Costco is posting theirs. No, Costco does not. The other Chevrons are like $6.10, bro. What the F? So Southern California is cheapest price is $5.44.
90
goes
cents.
Quick. Huh?
In the past month. Uh-oh, Pepe. A little clarification.
What's your gas
of the throat
prices?
there.
What do you get? What do you got gas prices at?
So it says prices have risen sharply, up 90 cents over the past month, and we're at, it says Rhode Island average $3.80 for regular.
No, just open. No, open up Google Maps and type in gas price, and then look at the map. It'll tell you the local prices.
Well, no, I am. It says local gas prices: Cranston $3.35 to $3.39, Warwick $3.42, Providence $3.49 to $3.75, Woonsocket $3.55 to $3.89, Coventry $3.55 to $4.05 with Stop and Shop. So yeah, it's and here's the funny part, right? All these prices, they didn't buy this. They're not buying this oil / gas now after all this stuff happened. They've had the gas that's in there for months. And literally the day this thing happened, started, I went to the local mobile stations. I'm like, oh, they started. Better get over there and fill up the tank. Well, guess what? They already jacked the prices up like the day of. So they've already bought that stuff well ahead of time.
Exactly. And some people are saying out here, Minnesota, $3.46, $3.95 in Virginia, $2.71 in Springfield. So yeah, you guys got some better prices than one here in California, and it's probably only going to go more. And some of the prices out in the famous Hollywood, LA area are damn near $8 a gallon for full serve or whatever. So long as we're talking about that, everybody's getting the E85, E15. The other thing that is also very important, do I have it right here? They're going to get rid of DEF. They are going through that system right now. They are starting with the farm equipment itself. They would no longer require new production vehicles to have said DEF system, and adding the extra urea tank to make the black smoke particulates less that is out there. That chemical is very caustic, and it likes to basically melt anything it touches except for plastic. So the urea stuff's going to be pulled. I don't know what they're going to do with current production stuff that's out on the market, if they're going to try to do some sort of retrofit and take off the EPA regulation stuff. I'm not sure. I'll be surprised if that happens. But a new stuff coming out, because military already had this. I already saw this like a year ago, because they're shipping Fords and Dodges with no EPA stuff on it whatsoever to the military. So it's kind of interesting to see those brand new 2025 Dodge pickup 3500 with no emission systems and straight pipes and no particulate collector and all that crap. So it's interesting.
Anything
Big things
they can do to mess with people. Of course we want to see the world stay beautiful or be beautiful, but like they're getting a little out of control in California, especially certain areas with the things that they were having people do with the smog and all that crap, way above and beyond.
Yep, and I remember we used to have smog alerts in Southern California. You cut that stuff with a freaking knife. It was pretty thick when I was growing up in the late 80s and into the early 90s before it finally cleared itself up. But it was an issue. So some of that carb stuff did work. So what else do we got? We still got the whole thing coming out from Nick Shirley and the corruption that we're seeing across the United States. I'm kind of still waiting for somebody to make an issue out there where they're going to start prosecuting a lot of the stuff that's out there. Coming out from JD Vance, I think I got the video somewhere here in the later half, that the federal government does not choose to prosecute people who do federal fraud of under $1.5 million. They don't even go after it. They waste their time. Nope.
Really?
That's like stepping on a dollar. I was like, what? So they're going to leave that stuff alone. So, yeah, as long as you stay underneath that threshold, you're pretty much going to get a slap on the wrist and away you go.
Wow. Justice.
So, yeah, so this is coming out from the fraud in Minnesota, the one in California, the ones that, not Zeldin, what's his name? Dr. Oz has been talking about the fraud that's out there. And again, they started a new fraud department with a new attorney general for fraud at the DOJ. And it's under JD Vance's leadership, and they're going to go after the fraud and start going after some of this stuff. So I'd like to see some prosecutions eventually. Eventually we get there. And again, the hospice fraud that we saw out in California, wow, just the amount that's here is incredible. They've already shut down some of them that JD Vance said that we shut down 70 of the most egregious ones. but there's still 2,000 of them out there just in LA County. And LA County is one of the largest counties in the United States by population itself. So crazy. Just the amount of fraud. Way worse than Minnesota.
Billion. I mean, we talk about millions and billions so much too. It's just like it's so much more, right? Like a billion is so much more than a million. So when you get into 3.5, I mean, 3.5 billion means 999,999,999 times 3.5. Like that is so much freaking money. It's not even funny.
Well, think about this. I thought an interesting way to put it is if you spent $1 million a day from the day that Jesus Christ was born, you still wouldn't have $1 trillion.
Really? $1 a day?
A million a day. Since Jesus Christ has been born, you still don't reach $1 trillion. It'd be like 800 billion or whatever it is. So
crazy, isn't
just put that in perspective. So what else do we got? There's our president's anti-fraud assistant attorney general, Collins McDonald. Let's see if he puts it together. Are you fact checking me there?
Confirmed his anti-fraud assistant 5247.
So this is what's going to help JD Vance. So we'll see if they make a difference, to be honest with you, because we've already seen a lot of the departments that they held up with the supposed what's his name, Ed Martin, and he was doing the pardon attorney and some other fraud stuff and blah, blah. I haven't seen any of that stuff come out. So we'll wait. We'll see. We'll be patient.
Interesting. 5247. Somebody either declined or wasn't there.
Yeah, that I'm not sure. Yeah, and Val Hack says trillion seconds is 31,000 years. Yeah, just to put that in perspective.
31,000 years. Isn't it? 31,000... I forget what it is. I know it's like 10 days to count to 1 million, and it's like something years for 1 trillion. And Hulk, let me thank somebody really quickly here. Who says Motoron dropped a $10 rubble rant and says for Wheezy and the boys. Thanks for that, buddy.
Oh, you know what? I did have to say thank you to somebody the other night after the show. Sent out a buy me coffee from Jacqueline M. Bought 3 coffees and says thank you for the updates, Hulk. Thank you very much for getting over there to the coffees. I appreciate that. What else do we got here? This is our 8-week funding bill. They kicked it back over to the Senate, so they rejected the cut of $5 billion from ICE and Border Patrol, but they said everything else is okay. So they're going to have to dance around that again. Some of you guys had asked for this again. I think it was Reno Gal. Here's your link. I saved it just for you. We are going to play it again. This is the new drug outreach program that they've been using in California.
Police are reviving the DARE program with a bold twist, letting kids sample drugs under supervision. At Roosevelt Elementary, officers measured out tiny tasters of marijuana, cocaine, heroin, and more.
It kind of tastes like burnt sugar, but it makes my tongue numb. I like it.
The cocaine one was super fast. My brain feels like it's doing jumping jacks.
The sweet smells like my uncle's garage, but in a good way.
Police are...
There you go. 20 seconds DARE program because Nancy Reagan, man, just said, just say no.
Totally not made by AI. It totally was not a parody. Wink, wink. My brain feels like it's doing jumping jacks, man.
See, sometimes they use AI for good, and sometimes you just want to ban it. You're like, dude, I'm going to throw up if I see another one. But stuff like that is absolutely great.
Sora's gone.
What else?
You know that, right?
What's
Sora,
that?
That Sora app that had the really low budget, crappy AI, they're basically gone for now.
Well, that's OpenAI. OpenAI is trying to circle the wagons and save as much money. They are not funding their own data centers anymore. They're relying on Oracle and Microsoft to house OpenAI's systems here at this point. And yeah, it's not looking very good for them, dude. So I think they're going to be gone within a year.
Gone with the wind, baby. Yeah,
so let's go visit California. What's that?
They stopped. They basically took it offline, or they said they had a post yesterday.
It's done. They took it off.
Sora's gone for now. Or I don't know if it'll come back.
They met with Disney execs a half hour before the announcement, talking about the direction that this particular application is going to go, because they put $100 million into OpenAI to use their intellectual property and the whole Disney stuff and Star Wars. And we saw all those funny memes with the Star Wars guys down there doing the riots and whatnot there. Remember that in California? They had done that. They had those solar apps out there, and they were doing patrols or whatever from the rioters. Absolutely great, but that whole thing just basically got shot in the foot. So if we go check in California over here, that particular area over here, they got a little bit of a problem. So they don't want people protesting, because we got a new event coming up for protesting. So they're installing gates on the on-ramps to the freeway in California. Let's go to the tape.
Now, the work is happening right now from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. This is along the 101 freeway in downtown LA. You can see the large metal gates that are being installed. This is on the underpasses there over Los Angeles main streets. This is the third set of gates that we have seen being installed. Caltrans says this was in partnership with CHP as a result of the protests that we have seen so recently going on the freeways. I want to show you more video here of the other gates that we have seen being used. This is at the Los Angeles Street off-ramp, and you can see them right there, kind of tucked away just on the side of the concrete there. CHP and Caltrans tells me that this will be a coordinated effort between the two agencies to be able to use these gates if a protest warrants it. We'll show you video, because protesters in the last several years, all the way back to the George Floyd protests in 2020, have really taken to the freeways. And you see previously, CHP had to use officers to block it, and then a number of cars down there as well. We've covered many, many protests that end up on the freeway. We've seen injuries happen because of that. You'll remember in 2020 when a CHP car had somebody actually hang on top of it as they tried to get away from the crowd that was in there. That was all during the George Floyd protest. The protests have caused mass disruption on local freeways. CHP and Caltrans are hoping that this is going to be a new way.
Also the same area where they beat up all those cop cars underneath that underpass in LA. They were here, and they were throwing rocks on top of the patrol cars. So yeah, good times.
They seem nice.
They seem nice protesters. So there's a No Kings protest coming, I guess, because of King Charles is coming in at the end of April, I guess.
Yeah, apparently there's a No Kings deal going on in D.C. today.
Oh, that's what they're practicing, they're protesting for? Yeah. Good luck with that. I didn't even hear that. What do we got? We can skip that, go into some of the other stuff. Okay, we're going to have a new census, and I'm okay with this. They're going to do a recount on a lot of the states that had the highly inaccurate vote counting for the illegal immigrants, because a lot of the Democrat areas did not exclude the illegal immigrants from the counting. And it seems like they know a lot of the difference between the 2020 and the 2024 election. And that's what the information here they're talking about. Using the results and information gained in the presidential 2024 election, comparing it to 4, they know that there's where the other 25 million votes come from. So that's going to be interesting when they come back and get this instituted. They might run into some regulatory stuff. It might be interesting, but hopefully they get it done.
Definitely need to, 100%.
Namester says, do protesters get paid by the day or by the hour? By the hour, and if it's colder, they get paid more, like snow on the ground and ice and dangerous conditions, and you might have to throw smoke grenades back. Yeah, you get paid more. Hazard pay.
Boy, they'll get you out of jail too. You got attorneys on site ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, all right. So let's get JD Vance in here. He's going to talk a little bit of Somalia and whatnot here. Some of this fraud and corruption stuff.
Well, what people need to see, I think that the fraud has been laid bare. We've all seen the Leering Center, right?
Correct.
The Leering Center is not an actual daycare.
No.
The Leering Center was fraud, right? And we've seen the hospice fraud in California. And so I think it's been demonstrated that this is a problem. What people need to see now is like arrests,
yes,
right?
100%.
Deportations. They need to see that the federal government, the gears of justice grind against these people, and they're not allowed to just continue.
Yes. So let me give you an example, something I just talked about upstairs, but I think it's worth reiterating for your viewers. So you take a program that exists within Medicaid to help autistic children get the resources that they need. So you have a Somalian fraudster in suburban Minneapolis who says that they have 3 kids who are autistic, and maybe they don't even have 3 kids, and they certainly don't have 3 kids who are autistic. So it takes money away from the American citizens who need these services. It defrauds the taxpayer. And you're absolutely right that the thing that we need to do is get real justice. So, something I learned just the past couple of months, I had no idea that we do not prosecute fraud in this country if it's under $1.5 million per year. Okay? So think about that. Think of all the people who are $1.5 million a year. This is not chump change. That is meaningful money. And by the way, sometimes by prosecuting the lower level people, you get to the higher level people who are collecting, who have sort of the conspiracy to commit fraud against the American people. So one of the things that we're trying to do with this task force is commit the Department of Justice to investigating all fraud and actually going after the people who are doing it at the small scale of $1.4 million, but also actually looking at the big conspiracies that are out there. Because, Benny, I don't know about you, but I do not believe that what happened with the Somalian immigrant community in Minnesota, I don't think that happens without some cooperation from politicians, without other people looking the either way, or maybe even being in the fraud themselves.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy the amount of fraud that they're finding. But prosecutions, please. Anybody?
1.5 million. That's it.
So, Somali daycare, $1.2 million a year, and you're fine. You're fine. Don't worry about it. Mortgage rates are back up again. Some of this stuff is from Thursday. We got criminal referral back out for Leticia James. We're actually going to play this.
All right, you all want accountability, and we're tired of waiting for it, right? Just a few minutes ago, the Federal Housing Finance Administration made 2 criminal referrals against Leticia James, not for mortgage fraud.
What?
No, they tried that, and I got thrown out in D.C. But for insurance fraud, one in the Chicago area, one in Florida. I think the one in Florida probably sticks. What do you guys think? Yeah,
Leticia James referred for insurance fraud in Florida. Now, John, if I understand this correct, does that mean the case would go up in Florida and Illinois because that's where the fraud took place? Is that state level or federal level?
Federal. These are federal criminal referrals for filing a false statement on a homeowner's insurance policy, saying that her home is going to be a vacation home, and in fact, she was using it full time for family. The U.S. Attorney in Miami, U.S. Attorney in Chicago will be the deciders. I think the most likely place where a case will be brought would probably be consolidated, brought into Florida. But this just happened a few minutes ago. Go check it out on justthenews.com. We'll have more of it on the top of the show in a few minutes.
So that's his comments coming out just recently. Thoughts?
Heck yeah. Let's let it come out. Let's let it roll. We've been getting teased enough there, John. And he says, what was it, 2 weeks ago? We're going to start releasing stuff in the next 10 days. But like to your point, I've yet to see such.
I'm just going through his list and see if he's got anything else posted about the corruption or anything. I don't see anything. All right, next story. Okay, just overturns in the court system. Make sure we put this all in there. The 8th Circuit basically says that we can hold ICE mass detention. Don't worry about it. All the Haitians that we picked up right out, straight out of the country on a plane. So they can go for that. Supreme Court is definitely probably going to decide with mail-in votes. They were looking at some of the Mississippi case that was happening in there to happen after Election Day. And, we have 4th of July. They talk about days. So they're talking about the definition of what the word day is and not the word week and those sort of things. So it doesn't look very good for them, and they're going to get challenged also. So that's coming up out there. What else do we got? Oh, the whole Cox bill from 2005, where they tried to sue people for downloading Napster and all those sort of things. You remember that back in the day? We all used to do that and download stuff. And we had, what was his name? The dude from Metallica went and testified in front of Congress, Lars.
Yeah. I never did that.
Yeah, liar. So this all stems from back in the day on that side, and basically they ruled that there's no way in hell that we can charge the internet provider for content that's on the system itself. They're not producing content. And they're not hosting it.
That's local. You guys have those out there in California?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I thought it was
they bought Dimension Cable in the late 80s. And turned into Cox Communication, and now they're doing the whole fiber Cox thing all over the place. I got Frontier. I like Frontier better.
I remember Dimension. Yeah, we have i3 broadband over here, and they didn't. When I moved here, they did not offer Verizon in this area.
Exactly. What else do we got? Yeah, the whole COVID thing, and yeah, you want to reiterate this one right here again, because I think this is actually pretty big.
Absolutely. Biden versus Missouri. It's going to be huge. As Missouri's Attorney General, I sued the Biden regime for brazenly colluding with big tech to silence Missouri families, censoring the truth about COVID, the Hunter Biden laptop, open border 2020 election. They tried to turn Facebook, X, YouTube, and the rest into their private speech police. Well, they didn't try to. They actually did for a limited time, to be honest. But labeling dissent as misinformation while they pushed their narrative on the American people. Today, after years of unrelenting litigation, I'm just reading it as it is. We deep state into a historic 10-year court enforceable consent decree. It directly binds the Surgeon General, CDC, and CISA. No more threats of legal, regulatory, or economic punishment. No more coercion. No more unilateral direction or veto of platform decisions to remove, suppress, deplatform, or algorithmically bury protected speech. Missouri struck first, and Missouri won big. First real operational restraint on the federal censorship machine, locks in the First Amendment principle we fought for. Modern technology doesn't erase your rights, and government labels don't strip speech of protection. Yeah, it's weird. The deep state just got checked. So
basically, you remember all the stories. Elvis Chan, who was the FBI lead that went through and started doing all the investigation, who did go out and testify, also talked about the COVID stuff, that they were influencing all the social media to ban certain people from talking about COVID. They run that right from the White House, or basically through the Intelligence Committee, and banning everybody. The whole Spygate thing came out also there, Crossfire Hurricane, and the amount of spying they did there at that time. What else was in there? Thinking off the top of my head. The hell else was in there? There was so much in there that they did. There was like 5 or 6 things that they went over and showed evidence for that it was 100% true and all those sort of things. So yeah. So no more censorship, hopefully, because I mean, they could try it again, but I don't know how they would institute restrictions against it. But no more of those portal apps that they were using. Hey, this guy's talking crap on me. Can you go and delete this? And then they go ban Spaceshot from the internet and the rest of the YouTubers.
They did. I mean, they went after YouTube, X, my
Hunter Biden story.
Dude, the best one was my Instagram one, dude. Like, I had only 200 followers on Instagram, and I hadn't even made a post in more than 6 months. I think I only had all time like 15 posts ever on Instagram. So, but yeah, that was October 15th, 2020, because the story for the Hunter Biden laptop came out in the New York Post on October 14th, 2020. We all covered it, and we all woke up to our channels gone. So, pretty sure that's the reason.
Yes, pretty much. So censorship is still out there. Here, we'll play this clip again.
Apparently, the jury awards $3 million in damages to Kaylee GM. Now, this was a single plaintiff case as opposed to the New Mexico one, which was sort of a more generalized case, which was $5,000 penalty per violation, adding up to $375 million. So this is a single award of damages. Meta apparently liable for 70% of the damages, which would leave 30% to YouTube. So a $3 million award for Kaylee GM. Apparently the jury awards.
Yep. Addictive social media at the age of 13 and the problems it created and all the issues that we read about Instagram is what they're pointing at. So, yay. Rotting our kids' brains is what they were doing.
TV rots your brains. Now the TV's on a device that's called a phone.
Exactly. What else do we want to get into? A little bit more about that water. We'll play the little clip talking about the crisis in Texas due to the data centers and the rest of the stuff that's there.
Lake Corpus Christi, which is a key water source for the city, it's currently just at over 9% capacity. CNN Chief Climate Correspondent Bill Weir joins us now. And Bill, the city could be forced to issue emergency water use restrictions. So why is this happening?
This could happen as early as May, Boris. Yeah, it's scary times down there. It's still coming out of the taps, but this is a slow motion disaster playing off along that Petro coast on the Gulf of Mexico. You talked about that one reservoir being less than about 9% of capacity. We have another one, Choke Canyon Reservoir, which they use, is less than 8% capacity. Lake Texana, which the folks of Corpus Christi also drink out of, is around 50% full. The law is if it goes below 50, that triggers automatic cuts, but the governor has lowered that to 40% now. But we're talking about a really dry stretch here, about 5 years of drought in South Texas that has led to this, along with a lot of water-intensive industry that just demands tens of millions of gallons of water a day to make plastic or refine oil.
Lake Corpus Christi.
They're running into issues out there, and then 3 Texas cities are now experiencing water shortages, not because of drought, because of data centers. So you could see across the area here the problems that they're going to be having in the areas that are listed that, hey, we're running out of water and we got issues. So you could see all over the place where we're going to have it. So, yay.
I mean,
I don't know where to put it.
Yeah, it seems like they're putting way too many resources that we human beings need behind resources that computers need. And I think it should be completely the other way around.
Yeah, or at least use some of the reclaimed water that they use to water the bushes and stuff like that from those little purple things. But I'm sure they're worried about water quality and ruining whatever hardware and pumps and all those sort of things. So they just take the fresh water from the ground and pump it right back into it after they used it. Which, I don't know, they need to come up with a different way to do that because they're going to chew through water very, very, very quickly, which Texas is now experiencing. And we're on a big, giant heat wave over here in California. And I talked a little bit on Thursday that we do have the Godzilla El Nino being risen up over here. Last time I saw this was probably in the early 90s when we had a bad rain system come up right to the coast of Southern California. But this is affecting Australia. Had a whack with a big, giant hurricane. They're going to have one of the first ones that will go all the way around Australia and hit Perth on the other side. It's the first time they've actually predicted that ever. But it's just going to skirt around the edge and then land right into the other area that's over here. And Australia is going through a fuel shortage right now. And there's only 3 roads that go from Perth to the other side. And if this group runs out of diesel or whatever, they'll be basically isolated. It's like 800 or 900 miles before you get fuel in another place. And I have asked the Trump administration for emergency diesel fuel deliveries, which they've authorized. So, yay, we're going to have some weather out there. And it's going to get interesting out here because even California, all the snow melt is gone. They closed snow resorts and all that because we had a huge heat wave.
Bananas, yeah. Thankfully, we had our heat wave last week and got rid of all that 3 feet of snow that we got. Ugh. Thankfully, it's over. And the sun started to make its presence shown yesterday, Hulk. Nice.
I got plenty. We're actually a little overcast today, so we might be in the 80s. Hawaii got smacked from this weird weather that's happening out there. Remember, they're right out here in the middle of this particular area, I think somewhere out here. So they're right on the edge, and they got absolutely inundated with water flooding on 2 different islands that were over there, wiped out houses. I've been showing this for the last couple of weeks, or last week, I think I showed it last Saturday too. But the storms have subsided, but just trash everywhere. A lot of damage to the homes and whatnot. So local community members are helping out trying to clean up people's homes because there's just mud all over the place that we're running through some of the areas here. So prayers for the people out there in Hawaii.
So bad.
Here, we'll play this one here.
We measure snow courses throughout the state in the winter months where the snow is accumulating, typically in meadows just like this, where we can measure a number of spots. So the density doesn't matter, the depth doesn't matter, it's how much water is in that pack. And so that's what we're measuring out here. Overall, statewide, we're about 65% of average, and, we're behind. I mean, my experience, we can have large fire risk in any given year. When you have several years in a row, the risk increases quite a bit. And depends on how soon the snow melts off, how dry the soils are under the snowpack. That all can play into what we'd expect for fire risk.
We've heard what the experts had to say.
Though the snowfall we received is helpful, we want the public to know that the threat of wildfire still exists. Now is the time for you to work on defensible space.
Yeah, good enough for the defensible space. They're basically saying it's melting faster than anybody expected. So, California's going to have a really dry summer is what it sounds like, and a lot of heat, and maybe have a lot of more fires. Hopefully we stay away from anything that happened in the Pacific Palisades.
Now, is that Northern California or Southern? That's got to be more northern, right?
Well, most of California on the ridge line is going to have snow. So we had snow 10 miles, up in the local mountains over here, because we do got Big Bear, and those types of things are within an hour and a half drive of the house here. So I can go, a 2-3, almost 2.5 hour drive from either to go to from Big Bear snow resorts down to the beach. About 2.5 hours apart.
You can go up to Big Bear and do some cardio. That's where all the MMA fighters go because of the elevation, where it's like, I guess, a mile higher up. So it trains your cardiovascular better up there.
Yep. What else do we got in the news itself? Okay, so this is interesting here. As RAM prices and computer parts and stuff starts changing around, I wanted to throw this thing back out here. Google just dropped a compression algorithm that makes AI 8 times faster while using 6 times less memory. Zero accuracy loss. It's called Turbo Quant. Here's what's playing is every time you use to talk to ChatGPT or any AI, the model remembers everything you've ever said in the conversation. That memory is called a key value cache. The longer the conversation, the bigger the cache, the more expensive it is to run. This is how a single biggest bottleneck in AI right now. With 128,000 word conversation on a large model eats 40 gigabytes of GPU memory just for that one user. To scale that to thousands of users, you're burning millions in compute costs, reprocessing the same data over and over. So this is supposed to drop it by a huge value. And let's see if it makes a difference, which immediately after this announcement, the RAM prices started to drop because everybody's looking at this and go, wow. So we'll see what this lays out to and how fast it actually affects the market itself. Dropped 20% on Micron. So interesting things.
That's the company that makes them?
Yes, they make the actual computer chips, the high bandwidth memory that they need. There's a lot of manufacturers coming to California, the United States here very shortly. What else do we got? Hey, we're going to the moon here, Charlie?
Yeah, I'll put the house on that we don't get there.
Here, I'll go to the video.
Walk us through what the final preparations are looking like.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, the crew arrived at the Kennedy Space Center today. They flew in from Houston from the Johnson Space Center, and they're going to spend the next several days, making sure that the health of the rocket is okay. They'll be going through all of the last preparations. This is really a historic mission. I mean, as you mentioned, flying around the moon, first woman to fly around the moon, first person of color, first non-U.S. citizen to fly around the moon, a Canadian. So they want to make sure everything's okay and are going to be really taking their time. And they stressed this today during a press conference that if anything's off with the rocket, if the weather's not right, they're going to pause, and they don't have to go on April 1st. They've got several windows this first week, and they're going to make sure that they fly only when they believe it's safe and that they are fully ready to do so.
And so what will be accomplished over this 10-day mission once it does take off?
Right, so this is a test flight, and what they want to do is fly the Orion crew capsule around the moon. It'll be the first time Orion has flown with people, so they want to test out all the systems, the life support, and this is all paving the way for the first landing on the moon by people since 1972. So before you do that, you've got to make sure the capsule works, that it re-enters the atmosphere and the heat shield protects them, that the parachutes work. They're going to go around the far side of the moon, and they are going to see parts of the moon potentially that nobody has seen with their own eyes before. And this crew may actually go further out into space than any humans have ever traveled before. So it's really a historic mission.
Yeah, hard to believe it's been happening.
They're going to go see China on the dark side of the moon. So, yeah, this should get interesting out there as we make a couple of revolutions, as I'm hearing, and then they're going to come back. But they are spending a lot of time and effort of doing these moon missions and do have future missions going. But, yeah, we're going to have 6 days to launch. There's our crew that we're going to get launching out on that rocket out there.
What's the date of that launch again, Hulk? Exactly.
On April 1st.
Oh, what day is that? Usually? Every time? April Fools? Dude. And dude, did they really say that people will be going to the dark side of the moon and seeing parts of the moon nobody's ever seen before? Wait, they tell us every time
China's
they go
there.
up there. Yeah, they tell us that people are up there on the dark side of the moon looking for helium, and every time they go up there, it's always on the dark side of the moon. So I'm going to make a bold prediction. They ain't going anywhere on the 1st. And guarantee you, anybody that has actual telescopes that can zoom in to the moon, you ain't going to see anything spinning around that moon. Guaranteed. Like, dude, they've been doing this for years. How about Richard Branson? Is he still taking people's millions of dollars to keep kicking the can down the road? Oh, no, we're going to the moon in 2020. Wait, what happened to that one? I think they're slating it for 29 right now or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Here, ran by this. Read that for everybody.
These two photographs are separated by only 66 years. Crazy.
Just to put that in perspective for everybody out there, just that's crazy to think about that out there. So we got our launch coming up here. So we got phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 goes out to 2036, starts in 2026 over here. So we got surface orbital assets, we got landers and launchers over here. So we're going to have 2 launches this particular year before the year's end, and we're going to put 2 landers out there, no people or anything like that. And then we start putting assets on the ground, rovers and more stuff to build. But we don't start putting people on the ground until we get into the end of 2028. So we're supposed to get some landers and stuff like that. 4 times in 2028, we're actually going to land on the planet, walk around. So that's their plan. And then, of course, you can see all the other stuff as we expand out there. So, for you flat earthers out there, wherever you want to put it, here's a new thing I found by. Scientists at CERN transported antimatter for the first time. 92 antiprotons in a custom-designed bottle that trapped the particle using magnets and electric fields. It took a 30-minute journey in the back of a CERN truck. Yeah, interesting.
How big is that bottle? Tiny?
I don't. Yeah, very small. They are mathematically suspending a ghost. 92 antiprotons is the, can you read that?
Infinitesimally small amount of containment. If containment failed, the resulting annihilation wouldn't even generate enough energy to boil a drop of water. The true terror isn't the explosive yield, it's the sheer engineering required to execute the transport. They built a localized magnetic void in the back of a commercial truck to prevent a substance from physically touching our universe. How do they do that? I don't know. If the power fluctuates for a single microsecond and the antimatter touches the wall of its container, it instantly deletes itself from reality in a flash of pure gamma radiation. They aren't driving cargo, they're driving a suspended violation of physics. Interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah. Weird stuff that they're doing. Where they need to transport it to, I have no idea. So I didn't get the above my pay grade. Let's get into a little bit of this missing UFO scientists that were from some of our key areas of talking about electrogravitics and spacecraft and all that.
GOP suggests there might be a conspiracy play. Well, they ought to start thinking there is, because the FBI shows up when the guy's missing. He had some, everybody's thinking it's UFO, but he had some nuclear secrets. There's just too many of them disappeared, Benny. Nothing happens by coincidence in this town or around this town. Something's going on. It was the week after the president announced he was going to start releasing some of those files too. So America needs to start paying attention.
Some of the UFO files?
Yep. And that may be coincidental, but we had several folks have left this earth or disappeared that had some close proximity to a lot of that. And that's been going on for a while. That's nothing new.
Do you have any direct knowledge? I mean, you've gone to these classified briefings. Do you have any direct knowledge of this? Did you know any of these guys?
Possibly.
So you're telling me that right after President Trump said to declassify all the UFO stuff, that the UFO experts that you have personal knowledge of and that you have personal connection to, they've gone missing or wound up dead?
Well, one did, the one everybody's looking for, and it's pretty I don't know the circumstances. He left with a 38 in his holster, and you're never going to convince me otherwise. I don't care what they find. I don't care what they find at this point. My wife said it the other day, how does somebody disappear in this day and age? How do they disappear?
Looks like this is.
I just think there's a lot going on. We got to get to the bottom of it. And there's a lot of, and I talked to the president about that. He asked me what I thought, and I said, Mr. President, I think it's like an onion. You just keep peeling it back. There's that lady right there. She had metallurgical knowledge, some of our missiles and stuff, and it's just too much, Benny. Too much is going on right now.
Advanced aerospace propulsion and plasma physics, fusion and rocket tech is the individual who's recently gone missing. Well, that sure as hell sounds like working on the UFO project. Right?
Yeah, well, in every department, and I see NASA right there, and NASA says they don't have anything. We don't have any files. We don't have any. Well, what the heck did I get briefed on by those knuckleheads? I'm over it. I'm over it. We're not going to get this. And when I'm told in a setting that the president is on some of this stuff is on a need to know basis, I mean, what the heck does that mean?
Start keeping it.
That's the issue right there.
They're withholding from the commander in chief information.
I think so. 100% do. And I don't know how you get it back. I mean, how do you?
So we'll leave it right there because this leads into what I picked up from JD Vance over here. So let's go right into this.
You're going to release all the UFO files?
We're working on it. It's funny. When I came in, I was obsessed with the UFO files. And then you start getting really busy worrying about the economy and national security and things like that. But I've still got 3 more years as vice president. I will get to the bottom of the UFO files.
Okay. Have you peeked? Have you done a peek?
Have I what?
Have you done a peek? I mean, like,
So I actually haven't. I have not.
Independence Day.
I have not been able to spend enough time on this to really understand it. Yeah. But I am going to. Trust me. I'm obsessed with this. I've already had a couple of times where I'm like, all right, we're going to Area 51. We're going out to New Mexico. We're going to sort of get to the bottom of this. And then the timing of the trip just didn't work out. But trust me, anybody who's curious about this, I'm more curious than anybody. And I've got 3 years of the very, very tippy top of the classification. I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
Okay. So you haven't been to Area 51 yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Some people say they keep the UFOs in Ohio. They might,
Hangar 18, Hangar 18, right? I've heard that as well. But I don't know. I haven't looked into it yet.
Okay. All right. Well, we're waiting for it. We saw aliens.gov. We saw aliens.gov.
I don't think they're aliens. I think they're demons anyway, but that's a longer discussion.
Well, I can't let you go without a follow-up on that. Because Barack Obama is on this podcast and he goes, yeah, aliens are real, but like, here's where they're not. And,
I did not.
And so Obama says, yes, aliens he gets asked point blank, are aliens real? He said, oh, yeah. And then he goes, but they're not at Area 51.
And where are they, bro?
Well, that's what he says. Okay. Right. That's a great question. Trump had to go save him, and he said he's going to declassify. Okay. So you think they're demons?
Well, look, I think that celestial beings who fly around, who do weird things to people, I think that the desire to describe everything celestial, everything as otherworldly, to describe it as aliens. I mean, every great world religion, including Christianity, the one that I believe in has understood that there are weird things out there and there are things that are very difficult to explain. And I naturally go, when I hear about sort of extra natural phenomenon, that's where I go to, is the Christian understanding that, there's a lot of good out there, but there's also some evil out there. And I think that one of the devil's great tricks is to convince people he never existed.
It's not the first government official that has mentioned that. Kash Patel has said the same thing. And I think Kennedy has said the same thing there at the same time. So even Paul Luna has kind of stated the same thing. So I'm just going to leave that there for everybody.
Heck yeah. We'll see. I don't think they're aliens. I think they're demons. Could be interdimensional stuff, right? If we have that firmament above us and we can't get outside of this plane, then, how can aliens get inside Hulk?
Exactly. Here, yeah, let's throw this thing out here just for a little bit.
And I put this in writing to the Pentagon in 2012 when I told this. Okay?
2012.
One thing she told me was, when you see Iran and Israel exchanging missiles, and I saw it, the way she tells me is a vision of, I see it like a living picture screen. I could see the rockets flying. Then all of a sudden, orbs appeared out of the ocean and everywhere.
Great.
And I told the government, if this happens, the orbs are going to appear and wake people up and stop it. That's what she told me.
April 2026.
Yeah.
And you've put yourself in it there, Chris.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's going to be Chris Bledsoe says April 2026 is when it all happens.
But I can tell you this, when I told this to the government about 2026, I just repeated what she told me. They immediately put remote viewers on. And all of a sudden, all the remote viewers are saying, oh my God, 2026, 2027, something is going to happen.
2026, Easter. What will happen? The star will, the alignment she told me about, that the star of Regulus would be on the horizon in front of the Sphinx. At that moment, there'd be a new knowledge. Well, I had no idea if this was even possible, but these astronomers run it through the machines and it comes out that star is going to come up on the horizon in Easter of 2026.
Easter of 2026.
I gave him the specific time. And it was with Robert Grant that I told him about this alignment and all. And he's like, oh my God. He's been looking for this ruby. This little ruby you have to find and place it between the paws of Sphinx to make this event that he knows is going to happen in 2026. I said, Robert, it's not a ruby. It's the Star of Regulus. He looks at it, he's like, oh my God, it's the King Star. So what's going to happen, I don't know. But I think it's possible that's the return of
Christ.
Yeah.
Enough on that side. So that's coming out from an interview from 2012 talking about launching missiles in Iran with Israel of April of 2026. And of course, the aliens and orbs and stuff like that all coming there shortly thereafter. I'd like to point this out. Would you like to read that at the top, Mr. Spaceshot?
Yeah, and dude, did you hear me talking the other day about the remote viewer thing that I was watching? That's literally why.
Well, here, let's go into this. Come on.
No, I know. I'm just saying, I went from that video to that stuff. I'll talk about it later. But breaking, a second Sphinx detected in Egypt as scans hint at underground megastructure. Hulk, where have I heard this? Where have I know I've reported on this on at least one video in the past where somebody was saying that they were going to find who was that said before years and years ago, at least 10 years ago, that they're going to find
I think it was the video I just played, that other guy right here, this guy.
No. It was been well before this. They said they were going to find something under the paw of the Sphinx, like years ago. I'm guaranteed somebody in the chat will get this. Guaranteed.
Yeah, so I threw this little video. I'll grab this thing here. We'll just take a quick look at this.
The pyramids aren't tombs. That's not conspiracy. That's what the radar scans show. In 2024, scientists pointed ground-penetrating radar at Giza. They expected to map the base of the pyramids. They found something else. 600 meters below the surface, a chamber, 80 meters wide, 80 meters long, 80 meters tall, bigger than any room ever built by humans. And it's not just under one pyramid, it's under all of them. Same dimensions, same depth, connected. The pyramids you see, that's the tip. Underneath is a structure so massive, so precise, so impossible, that the scientist who found it said one thing: I want to go down there and see it myself. He can't. Nobody can.
Yeah. Enough of the AI crap over there on that side. Ran by this little thing right here. So kind of laying out where they found this third Sphinx, which is over here on the right-hand side over here. So they knew that there was a second Sphinx, and obviously the first one that everybody talks about on the lower right-hand side, coming off from the pyramids itself, which is biggest one is Pyramid of Ra, and then you get down to the smaller one, which is the representative of Orion's belt. So they knew it was going to be over here somewhere, and then they actually did find it, and it is located there. So I find that interesting.
Oh, very interesting. Let me see.
Is there another clip right here? Yeah. You can see what it looks like without any of the overlay and with some of the overlay that's on there. That's quite interesting there.
I guess on here. Didn't really get a chance to look at the whole thing here, but it's a short on YouTube related to what we're talking about here. And thank you in the chat. Many people did come through on this. So it looks like G Fonts and then SGT Rock and Warrior Mimar came in with it. A few people. So that.
I'll grab this thing
was
right now.
met by the Edgar Casey son.
The psychic guy.
Huron Casey.
So this is the representative of the Egyptologist. That's Sangawi or whatever his name is. But he's the guy that's normally been restricting a lot of this stuff and saying we don't have any hidden structures underneath the pyramids whatsoever. But then you have Mr. Beast going down there, and they're swimming in the water system below the pyramids.
Are you serious? Dude,
yeah.
Never.
And Huron Casey was the son of Edgar Casey. I was young. I really don't know what this case he had. When he came to Egypt and talked about his father, you know about Edgar Casey.
Yeah.
Okay, then
he had a vision that there was a chamber underneath the Sphinx's paw.
Underneath the right paw of the Sphinx, there is a chamber.
And he envisioned that, correct?
Yes, and this is why I'm going to Virginia Beach to give a talk. One of the cities in my tour now is Virginia Beach. Why? Because when people began to tell me there is something inside the Sphinx, I really, as I told you, I have an open mind. And I did search. I found inside the Sphinx 4 tunnels. One behind the stela. They call it dreamy stela, between the 2 balls of the Sphinx. And the second one behind the head in the top.
Right, there's actually a door on the top of the head now.
No,
right?
no,
like,
just
there's a lid,
just
right?
a tunnel.
A tunnel.
25
but isn't
feet.
it closed off though?
No, yeah, it's closed. Yeah,
there's like a door on the top of it, right?
It's not a door. No,
a lid.
It's just a tunnel. Go down.
Okay, but it's closed off.
You cannot go up to the Sphinx. That's why we have to cover it because it will take rubbish and garbage. I was met by the Edgar Casey.
Wow. Yeah, we just put a lid over the top to keep the garbage out.
Dude, he wouldn't let that go, huh? Joe Rogan, he's like, it's covered. No, it's a tunnel. Yeah, but put something over it. And at the end, he's like, yeah, we had to cover it so trash wouldn't get in. It's funny what some people key in on.
Yeah, that's crazy. Here, you can read this tagline also.
Okay. 12,000-year-old pyramid ruins uncovered off of Louisiana coast would be evidence of a lost city. No shart. You want to read a little bit? Has emerged from the sands. An amateur archaeologist has potentially made the discovery of a lifetime after uncovering the alleged ruins of a lost metropolis off of Louisiana that predated modern U.S. history. All I know is someone built the city 12,000 years ago, retired architect George Gelle claimed in a resurfaced WWL-TV interview from 22. In the clip, he claimed for 50 years he has been capturing sonar images of submerged structures off of Chandeleur Islands, a chain of uninhabited barrier islands situated in the Gulf of Mexico about 50 miles east of New Orleans. Mysterious buildings reportedly numbered in the hundreds and are located 30 feet below the water's surface and are buried underneath an additional 100 feet of sediment. Interesting. Cocaine-fueled sharks are on the prowl in the Caribbean. That's a fact.
Yeah, they're back.
That's a fact. That is hilarious. But
crown jewel of the so-called lost city is the so-called 280-foot pyramid jutting up from the ocean floor, which architects claim emits a powerful electromagnetic structure that affects passing boats. So we're talking probably Blue Bermuda Triangle. In fact, he believes that these aquatic remains are they geographically related to the Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt, is what he's saying.
And thank you to TruthStream for rating the stream over here on Rumble. We do greatly appreciate that. Spread the love. And click that thumbs up on all the platforms that you guys are on. And don't forget to leave us a comment. Tell me how much you hated hearing my voice or Hulk's voice, or give us a compliment or an insult. Just leave a comment.
Yeah, there you go. What else do we want to get into? Oh, programming note here. Yeah, you could read this. Read this for everybody.
My new favorite station, Islamification. Dallas is home to Texas's first Islamic radio station. ASWAT FM 94.1 HD4 reaches 8 million people across Dallas-Fort Worth. It features a CARE DFW board member giving Sharia law and immigration advice on air. Univision is providing the signal. Oh my!
Didn't we identify CARE as a terrorist organization underneath the Trump administration? Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Just making sure I was keeping score there. But yeah, they got a radio station.
Oh my word.
What else do we got? Oh yeah, ran by this one here. Here's a great one for everybody out there.
Because I normally love to shop at Aldi's. You know, the prices are good or whatever. And usually when I buy meat from Aldi's, I get this. This is my favorite meat to buy from Aldi's.
Ground beef?
It's supposed to be organic. I don't know. I need my glasses, but I love this meat. But when I went to Aldi's today, they did not have any. They was out. So, I mean, I wanted to make some tacos. So I got some more. I was looking at the meat. And the other meat, the more 90%, it don't have as much fat. I don't really like the flavor. So I found this. Look at that. Isn't that nice? It says Aldi meat. It says Aldi. This is Aldi meat. Meat from Aldi. And guess what it says on the back? Right in old Central Florida, we got halal, Muslim, Islamic meat right in our stores. You go, what's the problem? What's the problem? I'm a Christian. Jesus is king. He is the only God, the only true one God. He's the truth, the way, and the light. Okay? And this meat, halal meat, you see that? Halal meat. Right on my Aldi hamburger that I'm finna get to my dogs, because it's perfect for my dogs. I won't eat this.
So it's halal meat, which means it's been supposedly blessed before it was slaughtered, kind of in reference to the same idea that they use in the Jewish sect for the type of food that they make for their own. It's showing up on this side. This also means that particular meat packing plant can't have any other pork products with it. So halal and pork are obviously not compliant with each other, so they're separating the two from there. And we've seen some of the fast food restaurants that are doing the same thing, where they stop offering pork products because they're catering to the halal community and offer just whatever they're going to eat in their particular sect. So, yay.
I got mixed feelings about this, Hulk. It might sound weird at the beginning. I think it'll come full circle once I'm done finishing my explanation here. So, what's halal meat? And I don't have a problem with a couple of issues of this, but one of them I got a big problem with. All right, only certain animals are allowed. Cows, sheep, chickens, pigs are forbidden. Okay, no halal piggies. Okay. How the animal is slaughtered, it must be healthy at the time of slaughter, and a trained person must cut its throat swiftly. Okay, no problem with that. No forbidden substances. Animal must not be dead prior to slaughter and must not be contaminated with things like alcohol or pork products. Hey, not a problem so far. But, yeah, when I add this part in, animal must be healthy at the time of slaughter, and a trained person must cut the throat swiftly while invoking the name of Allah. Okay.
Yeah, you are correct, sir.
Invoking the name of Allah. And somebody, I was seeing some other video the other day that somebody was saying, Allah means, right? It's just another word for God, right? So when this guy was saying when people make fun of like the Muslim Allah, they're basically making fun of just the word that means God. It doesn't mean what he was trying to say. It doesn't mean like their specific God that's named Allah. It's just a name for God. I don't know. I'm not a biblical scholar. I'm not an attorney, and I'm not a doctor. So I don't know.
Did I have a video on that? Let me take a quick look. I might have one here.
Wiring minds want to know.
Let me take a quick one more spot.
Subs are off the chain. Subs are off the chain. Buses? Oh, good. Publix? Oh yeah. Must be out of Florida. I haven't been to any Publix since I've been down to Florida.
I don't have it. Anyways,
no
keep going.
halal, no halal bacon. I'm guessing G fonts.
Yeah, exactly. Did you hear about Black Rifle Coffee? You remember them, right? They were doing the whole thing with coffee and a whole bunch of other things across the radio stations, and then they spoke out about Kyle Rittenhouse, and basically their stock has gone down below $1 for a certain period of time. So they got the notice from the stock exchange that you need to get up above a certain amount for a few weeks and then stay at that one for like 6 weeks, or else we're going to kick you off of the platform.
Oh, what did they say about Kyle Rittenhouse?
They went against him. Remember that?
I don't. Gun Coffee brand was MAGA royalty, then it turned on Kyle Rittenhouse, declined to sponsor the teenage accused of murder, and then all hell broke loose. We did not sponsor, nor do we have a relationship with the 17-year-old facing charges in Kenosha, Washington. It's kind of a screwed up situation. I mean,
yeah.
Did they go out? Did they turn their back on him, or they just said, "Yeah, we don't"? Maybe they didn't have.
They were supporting him at one time, and they changed after the situation. Yeah, something happened with the court cases, and then they turned tail and ran. So yeah, I think that helped out with their drop in their money.
Oh wow!
What else do we got? I didn't grab the other.
If you bought 100,000's worth, it's worth 5,000 now. Ooh.
TSA had more problems with the air traffic controllers and whatnot there, that this particular plane ran right into a fire truck crossing the field here. So both the pilots died and a whole bunch of people injured, but that was about it. But that's a pretty tragic thing to be happening out there, that air traffic controllers are overworked here at this point, and an accident happened and smashed the hell out of that jet. I'm not going to actually play the crash video. It's at night and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, they were landing and ran right into a fire truck. As it was landing.
Yeah. Negligence. Canada Air crash.
Pretty much. Air traffic controller was screwed up there on that side. Ran by this. This is in Spain over here. The cross and lower terminal of the Tower of Jesus Christ are now complete and visible. That's the size of a large building at the top.
Awesome.
What does it look like inside? That's what I wanted to go get. And look at that.
Oh, wow. That's crazy, dude. Where is this? Turkey?
This is in Spain.
Spain, huh? Wow. Gorgeous, huh?
Absolutely crazy, the amount of workmanship and stuff. There's it from far away. Look how big those windows are and shit, like up there. They're going to have church up there and shit. That's crazy. They're going to have visitors that can go all the way up to the top and hang out and take photos and shit like that, dude.
Sagrada Familia reaches full height more than 140 years after construction began. The final piece of the central tower of Catalan architect Antoni Gaudi's masterpiece has been put in place, bringing the church to its full height of 172 meters ahead of the centenary of Gaudi's death on June 10th. 172 meters, just that cross.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Weighing 200 tons, just the top. That's crazy, dude. Oh, yeah, church stuff. That is crazy out there.
So gaudy.
I just thought some of those photos inside were awesome, dude. Just like that stuff.
Somebody said in the chat, give it 6 months, some jerk off will burn it down. Like, oh, it's all stone. Yeah, but they still burn them down somehow. They still managed to burn them all down somehow.
All right, you ready to get into some funnies and crazies? Here,
right.
Let's see if you can get this answer.
Dude, this is my
favorite show. Can you get this answer?
I used to watch this show all the time with my mommy.
So let's see if anybody in the chat can get the answer.
Answer is automaker that introduced the alternator, power steering, and electronic ignition. Good luck.
Oh, wow.
Which manufacturer did that?
General Electric.
It's an automotive manufacturer.
General Motors. Tesla.
It's Time's up. All of our players finished writing down their questions early on that one. Karen Olson, you were in third place with $1,800. Let's find out what you thought the final Jeopardy question was. To this answer, automaker that introduced the alternator, power steering, and electronic ignition. You said, what is Oldsmobile? That is incorrect. Let's find out what it cost you. $1,795, leaving yourself with $5. That could do it. Not likely, but it could do it. Our returning champion, Ed Osawa, had $6,800. Let's see what you thought the final Jeopardy question was. What is Ford? Ed, that's wrong. How much is this going to cost you? $6,795. Guess what? You and Karen are tied right now. Ed's not worried, folks. He's already won $36,800 from us. And we come to a man who's been very impressive throughout our program, Larry Kaplan. Let's see what you thought the final Jeopardy question was. Who is Henry Ford? We know now that that is wrong. If you bet $8,695, then we'll have a three-way tie, and all three of you will come back on our next program to do it again. How much did Larry Kaplan risk on this final Jeopardy? $5,000. That leaves you with $3,700. You're the new champion, Larry Kaplan. Way to go.
Everybody got it wrong. Here comes your answer.
$3,700. That means you're coming back to face two new challengers. The correct question, ladies and gentlemen, is what is Chrysler, or who was Chrysler? They introduced so many great things in the automotive industry. Karen, thank you very much. Ed, as I point...
I got it wrong, too. I picked GM. I think Reeks treated Veeks 57 over in Twitch. I think he cheated and Googled it because he put Chrysler Corp. I'm not saying you cheated, Chrysler, but maybe. Yeah, Chrysler. Innovators. Yeah, anybody need a stamp plate here? Just thought that was cool. Painting the little people and all those sort of things and putting little stamps on there.
Little stampy guys.
I thought the stamp system was pretty cool with the little press here. Here's a video I haven't watched yet. Yeah, Space Vacation. Let's mix the two together and see how well AI did. Dude, that was
Butte Clark.
He's a Butte Clark. That was I got to go back and visit that movie again. What else we're gonna go into?
Christy Brinkley Hulk.
Hey, you want to see what an accident in these cars look like?
Very lovely shot of your green Ferrari you like so much, and that was a tricky one. There was a touch there. Tricky one. There was a touch there, and
I guess no
seatbelts
together.
Look, he's walking, and that caused that incident.
Oh, good to see him walking around, dude. That looked bad. Look at that whiplash.
That's what I thought.
Oh.
Yeah, we're simple. We're simple guys. Simple guys. What else do I got for you? Okay, pay attention to the purple lady.
Oh shit!
Where'd she go, dude?
Oh shit!
Just like in Top Gun, took out the glasses and everything. Dude, look at that, dude.
That is low.
Oh my God, that's crazy, dude. I love the F-18s and the whole Blue Angels thing, dude. That was always good.
Let me know, be quick.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna throw this out here just for everybody. You might have seen this, you might not seen this, but you're gonna put this into your useless information category.
Was less fortunate. What is this? What is this?
Service.
Oh shit! I just got served.
Oh wait, that's not the one.
Oh shit!
I thought it was the.
Oh my God!
Oh, we got served from Disney, by the way.
For those who are wondering what this is for, I did a joke about the Lion King. I don't know, you saw it? That was me, yeah.
There's a lion.
Flashback.
Dancing Gonya Magiti Baba. You were way off. Ingonyama. All right. You said, Papa. You made up.
Well,
you should see me when I do it in front of white people.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! Hold on. Can you do that one more time? Do that again.
What does it mean?
It means, look, there's a lion. Oh my God!
You're joking. That is not what that means. That is not what that means.
That's exactly what it means.
That's what it means. Look, there's a lion.
Oh my God! It's a look, there's a lion. Oh my God! It's a lion.
This whole time, I thought it was like this beautiful, majestic.
Look here, there's a bull lion.
It's a lion. I'm paying for that shit now. This is the shit. Fuck the Lion King. I just got served, bro. Yeah, I got served right in front of you guys. I'm now raising money and GoFundMe page. Oh, this is so funny, man. All right, how do we move on from this?
What he says?
You know, this is what happened. You know, I was watching The Lion King, and my question was, why do these lions have American accents? And they're like in Africa. And the only accent they gave it to the monkey. What the fuck? And it was Caribbean. What the fuck, man? Listen, I now have a gluten allergy, anxiety. I got served. I'm now American. Yes.
And he got sued from Disney for a joke.
So what part, I don't understand what part of it they didn't like. That
he made the joke of what the actual definition of the word is, of the lyrics in the song itself, when you convert them over. So he told the truth, but evidently he's getting sued from them about the joke. What else are we going to go to? Oh, I just want to throw this out there for everybody out here, because everybody always heard about the A-10 Warthog and it going down and blowing shit up. I've never heard them what it sounds like when you hit the ground. And with today's technology, we get to see some Iraqi members running away from the A-10 coming in and hitting the ground, and it's not what I expected it sounded like. You ready?
Uh-huh.
You hear that thing, dude?
What's that?
That's the landing of the munitions coming out of the A-10 Warthog hitting the ground.
Oh, wow.
Then you're going to hear the sound from the actual gun firing, because you're hearing the bullets hit the ground first. Then you hear the actual cannon fire, and then you hear the A-10 flying above. gun. Then the A10 sound from the engine. That's pretty damn scary, dude. Be on the other receiving end of what it sounds like from an A10 Warthog dropping, what is it, like 4,000 rounds a second or a minute or some crazy stuff?
Yeah. you don't want to hear that one. Was presented and factual. They're saying that guy's joke diminished the cultural and artistic significance of his work. South African composer who wrote it sued Janasi in federal court that it diminished his work and interfere with his business relationships, including those tied to Disney. He's seeking $27 million in damages. So the guy who's the composer for The Lion King is suing some random stand-up comedian who clearly doesn't have $27 million. Like, really?
Oh, that's so funny, dude. That is so funny. Hey, anybody need a new app for their Mac? Anybody? Here's a new one for your Mac. For everybody out there, it's got got an Apple product.
Okay, so this is my new favorite app. It's called Slap Mac, and it's basically you slap your Mac and it makes sounds, and there's different sound packs too, so you can do.
Oh my goodness!
It's my favorite thing ever.
You went with the porn version.
I got one here. Watch this.
Although the goat one.
Turn on some Middle Easterners.
And it also counts how many times you've slapped it. 5 stars. Best app ever.
Yeah, earned $5,000 in 3 days. Slap Mac. There's also one for your hinge of you open and close your hinge of your Mac. Somebody's found that particular part also, and it'll make creaking noises and all those sort of things. And we've got Balzang. It's an Aussie chick.
An Aussie chick. It's hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Here. Customer complaint. My car sounds like Ric Flair. And it sounds like, woo! How accurate do you think he's going to be here?
Probably pretty close.
Yeah, confirm the complaint. Yes, he does sound like Ric Flair.
There is something near the gas tank. It's a condensation tank or something like that that will make a weird noise like that too.
Carbon canister. That's the carbon canister.
Yeah, my Camry back in the day would make it only when you were hitting the gas lightly. It would almost sound like a boat horn, like a ooh.
Yeah, the one-way valve is starting to go bad in there. It's the part of the EGR gas recirculatory system. Push that emission system back in through the exhaust and vapor canister from the fuels and shit like that. I'm not going to play this one right here, but I just happened to run by an unreleased gem from Kendrick. I guess this is Kendrick Lamar, the guy that has done some other music that we listen to on the Republican side. So I just thought it was interesting, and somebody else is playing it, so I was going to throw it out to you because it does say some interesting stuff about murder and, Illuminati this, and it's just weird. I don't know. So I can play a little bit for you guys. You want to hear a little bit of it?
Sure. Copy. Fair use.
Any arson. Murder, bloody murder. Compton teenagers ready to aim and serve ya. This ain't the safest of places to raise your children and chill. This is the city of Satan. Bacon high, you won't get killed. Bacon high, you won't get killed. 16, 17-year-olds. Colder than an open window in Illinois. Noises from the Grim Reaper poisons the minds of yours and mine. The more confined, more bodies on the slab. Shot from a chopper, stabbed 24 times in the abs. That should be a permanent nap. Sleep. Deep, eternal, turn on TV. You can see a TG clip it crazy. Try to kill him, but he murdered the lady. Now Miss Daisy, push up daisies. Cradle to the grave, and our summer speed so hot you can find Satan in the shade. Running from a tan or maybe a black van, pulling up with doors that can slide both ways. I always look both ways when I cross avenues. Fuck a car, you can get hit from a clip if a blood or a crip is mad at you. Walk around with the right attitude. You ain't with the business, make that decision right now. If you down, then yeah, it's gonna go down. Fuck a 4 pound, no handgun, big drum like a you're marching. Cross the line and go out the margin. Park the car, then hop out, walk the dog down the block till they hear bitches barking. Murder.
Just interesting, some of the stuff that he's put out lately. So I just wanted to throw that out there as a musical interlude. If anybody else wants to partake, I will drop that out in the chats for anybody else that would like to go in there and see that. I just find it interesting because he do that other hit. They ain't like us.
They not like us. They not like us. Yeah, and I was trying to read, to see what that song was, and that sample of the song is just kind of like that chorus of the. Play a little bit here. So it's just basically kind of like that thing over and over. It's almost like I don't know, like a keyboard or something. Boom, 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 boom. But yeah, he speaks pretty clearly as well.
Yeah, and that's actually pretty talented, to be honest with you. So that's pretty good. A lot of new music coming out recently. Even I think Snoop Dogg came out with a new album single, and he's got a full-on beard and rolling. So coming out with his own stuff too. So everybody's getting their last ring out of their careers, in my opinion. But yeah, Kendrick Lamar made a few full U-turn from where he was in the early 2000s to today. It's quite interesting to watch.
Sure. And Mr. G Fonts 119 dropped a $1 holla rumble rant says, look, it's a Team Warthog run. Oh my God.
Speaking of warthogs out here, everybody remember this video over here?
Oh, the three girls that went to go beat up the girl at the pizza place?
Come on, Audrey. Come on, Audrey. Audrey, come on, Audrey. Come on, on that butt. Get in here. Get in here.
Oh, they're ragdoll.
Go. All right, yo, get on. Split it up.
So 5 people, 2 males, 3 girls, decided to jump this particular person working singly inside a pizza place and failed to notice that she's a trained MMA fighter from her dad, and basically kicked their ass for 5 minutes until the police showed up and broke everything up. So we only saw 30 seconds of a 5-minute clip out here. And the 3 guards have been charged with felony gang assault after they tried to jump the 16-year-old pizza worker. So charges are moving through, and the main girl started the fight, ended up breaking her orbital bone, and was arrested after released from the hospital. So don't be effing around, dude, thinking you're going to show up with 5 people and kick some girl's ass and film it.
That's why I told my son, like, don't be starting stuff with people, because I've seen it happen a couple times in middle school and high school. It's like you get your butt kicked, whatever, it's a fair fight, something happens, whatever, but you go out of your way to be a jerk off and try to bully somebody, and then you get your ass kicked, it's gonna look even worse.
Exactly. What else we got? Interesting news for you Intel fans and making computers and all that. Intel had come out with a second line of their Ultra 9 CPUs. I think the first ones were like 260K or whatever. Anyways, it's a refresh, and they're like, we're going to do the 7 and the 9, but they basically came back and said the company's just going to release the 7 version only. And it's good enough for gaming, and we don't see we need to release the higher refresh on this particular deal. So we're just going to scrub that, and they'll use that capacity for something else. So just find that interesting of a product launch, and we're like, we're going to have 2 great new chips for everybody, and then we're not going to release the upper one. We're just going to do the lower one. Don't worry about it.
Crazy. 5 minutes. Rochelle P says, In regards to that last story, 5 minutes of FAFO. That's the word.
Exactly, dude. The way I tried to go find.
Okay.
I tried to go find more of the video itself, but I couldn't find any more. There's only that clip.
Did you want to try to keep the lights on and do like I'm guessing Rumble Wallet?
Yeah, that's fine. We can do that.
If we can find it, eh? Hold on a second there. I covered over.
What'd you pick? Yeah, I could click the button, clicking, or the Rumble Wallet.
Yeah, we'll do it real quick. Clickety click clack.
Break for 30 seconds.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, they can cancel your accounts as we've seen in the past. They can freeze your cards, decide what you're allowed to buy, say, or support. Big banks and financial institutions have total control and they use it. That's why financial independence matters now more than ever. Introducing Rumble Wallet, a wallet built for real freedom. And with Rumble Wallet, you can control your money. Not a bank, not a government, not a tech company. You control it. Buy digital assets like Tether, Tether Gold, and Bitcoin in one secure place. No permission, no middleman, no cancel button. And when you want to support the creators that you actually believe in, you can use Rumble Wallet app to directly tip content creators securely, instantly, and without interference. This isn't a credit line they can shut off. It's your wallet permanently. Yours to protect your future, yours to protect your family. And when the system fails, when institutions turn on their own people, financial sovereignty is the difference between security and vulnerability. Rumble Wallet isn't about politics, it's about freedom, ownership, and protecting what's yours. So take control today. Download Rumble Wallet now and step away from the big banks for good. True ownership, true protection, true financial freedom. Boom.
Break for 30 seconds.
Thank you for hanging out with us here, guys. And click the thumbs up on whatever platform you guys are watching on. We do our best to spread ourselves around here to many different platforms as well.
Yeah. Do Elmo says, I got permanently banned from Twitter in 2020. Had 73,000 followers. I've lost, I'm on 3 accounts on Twitter. 3 or 4. I can't remember anymore. So, yeah.
Maybe they can try
and
that
2
one.
YouTube accounts.
Yeah, don't even go. I mean, I could show you as many accounts on mine as well. But maybe, some people weren't aware that they had a special thing. I'll try to find it. Where was that, in your Rumble or your? I'll try to find it, the link, and put it in there. But there was a special way that you had to request your account to get it back, and you had to use like new parameters in the email. I know I sent it to Debbie Rausch not recently, probably more recent than I sent it to anybody, but there's a chance you might get it in there. So I'll drop the link. It'll be like an X customer service link or something. Look for that in the chat in a few minutes.
Yay. Ready for more videos? What else do I got for you? Ran by this old video. I remember watching this on Game 3 of the World Series in 1989 when the earthquake shook San Francisco Dodgers versus the Giants. San Francisco Giants, if I remember. This is crazy to watch when I was a kid.
We zoom into Candlestick Park in the southeastern corner of the city. For the first time in 27 years, a World Series game will be played in Candlestick Park. The Battle of the Bay continues. Game 3 of the 1989 World Series, the Oakland Athletics against the San Francisco Giants. I'm Al Michaels. Let me turn now to Tim McCarver. And, Tim, we talked in Game 1, the final score was 5-0, but there was a key early play involving Terry Kennedy dropping a throw from Will Clark at the plate. We go back to Game 2, the score was 5-1, but there were 2 key plays early in that one as well.
Well, you don't often think of key plays in a 5-1 ball game. Candy Maldonado with the hesitation, allowing Jose Canseco to score, and he fails to get Dave Parker at second base, so the Oakland A's take
I'll tell you what, we haven't heard.
I remember turning around and go to my dad, go, dude, they just had an earthquake in San Francisco. He's like, no, they didn't. They didn't have it. Yeah, it took like, I don't know, a good minute before I felt any rumbling coming from this in Southern California. It wasn't much. But that San Francisco thing, they showed some video of the cars going up and down like 20 feet out in the parking lot because of the ripples from the earthquake running through the land. So you could see just video of this because you could see them just going up and down like 20 feet because it was just going so fast. It was crazy. And then, of course, the freeways fell down and shit like that, dude. It was crazy.
Those were my two teams back in the day. You always been the Yankees and the Giants, San Fran Giants. They had Will Clark and Kevin Mitchell and Matt Williams. Really good team that they had that year. But yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday, dude. I was like, wait, they just had a friggin' earthquake during the World Series? That's crazy.
Yeah. And then I ran by this. We'll do some Star Spangled Banner stuff because I thought this was pretty good, cool for opening.
Oh, say, can you see?
That's this year's, a couple of days ago.
Early lights, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that Star-Spangled Banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Those are Tomcats. Dual engines? Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. That's not a Tomcat. Looks like it. What the hell are those?
Boy, down now.
Isn't that cool? I think those were drones with smoke in them or something, but that was cool.
Definitely cool. Crappy voice.
What else are we going to get into?
Guy has some pipes.
Okay, ran by this video, and this dumbass died. Yeah, being drunk, Florida, and then you run into a Tesla. Tesla cam finally came out over here on this side. We'll bring down the music, but you could see him flying right through the air because you got it recorded on Tesla cam.
Slammed his head right there, guaranteed. Flat.
Yeah, so doing stupid shit.
Look at that, ready? Head over, head's coming back right there. Oh, dude, that's going to be Splatsville.
Yep, so he's done on that side. What else do we got for you in the vault?
Naked on a Jeep.
Yeah, dude, just doing stupid shit. Here, somebody built one of these.
Oh, God, Johnny Fives? Don't need a copyright on that background music. Johnny Five is alive, dude? No disassemble Stephanie. They gonna give him a voice or what?
Yeah. No voice. Anybody need a new jacket you can get from KFC?
Oh, dude, I heard about this the other day. Actually, me, you, and our doc were talking about it, right? And he was saying how you were working out and stuff, drinking pickle juice. I'm like, wouldn't that give you like acid reflux?
Got a straw you could attach to it, drink out of it. I don't know. I didn't even want to look why, but it is an official temporary product or something with KFC. I'm just gonna stay away from it.
Razor blade.
Hey, did you ever play Counter-Strike as a kid at all?
I don't think so.
Okay. So you never played that. So I ran by this cool little video right here, which is a representation of a very famous map called Dust 2, which is a Counter-Strike map. And this guy came by one of their abandoned paintball versions of this particular map. And I was thoroughly impressed in the scale and accuracy of said map with all the choke points and everything you would expect to see in the real map, because we've seen Burt Peanut. He's been playing this game for the last week or so for these particular areas. So it was it's eerily accurate of the way this whole thing is laid out and all that. So for the Dust 2 map people out there, this was interesting. Any of this look familiar to you?
Nidu, those Proyetskis.
Это мид. Пиздец.
Because that's a little sniper way right there. It's just really accurate. If you played Dust 2 on any of the ones, this is a copy of that map. So I just thought that was cool.
The video shows shoot to kill paintball arena in Kosovo. And it's made from Counter-Strike, not abandoned ruins. That's funny. But if they had Fishhook from SOCOM, I probably would recognize it.
Okay, here's interesting things that happen when you're mowing your lawn.
Why is that ladder up in the air?
Just casually mowing your lawn.
Wondering. Oh shit! Oh my God, is he lucky?
It hit an IUD in the grass. There's a terrorist hiding in there.
Holy Nikes! Or the fan hit something hard,
or you didn't. Maybe the motor just seized up and hand grenaded. But that's a pretty impressive finish right there. I'm gonna give that a 10. 10 out of 10 for finish of the lawnmower.
What do you
I don't think you're fixing it.
Is that a good enough excuse why you didn't finish the lawn today? Honey, I couldn't do the lawn. Check the friggin' ring camera. You're lucky he has legs.
Here, ran by this one here. I thought this was interesting for the GTA fans out there. So they're playing GTA and faking it at the same time, making like they're driving the car. You ready? It's entertaining, right? They thought they did a pretty good job. So nature watching is always an interesting thing, and you're hanging out watching, elk or deer and stuff like that, and you're like, what the hell? Oh yeah, look at that. There's still a cougar head hanging on the top of that guy's elk little horns right here, and that's part of the head and the rest of the body of said cougar trying to eat these particular animals.
Oh yeah, I can see his little face there. Oh,
yep.
Dude, did you see the one? And I don't know if it was. I don't think it was AI. Maybe it was. I don't know. But there was like a lion or a tiger hanging on the back of some like warthog or something like that, and then it jumps into like this pond where there's two alligators that grab the lion. It didn't look like it was AI, but I don't know.
Here's one for you. Read the tagline is great. You ready? Read it for everybody.
Needs a haircut. Man who swallowed, why not drank? Man who drank 3 liters of vodka pleads guilty to sticking googly eyes on $95,000 blob-like sculpture.
It's
God.
Woman.
Sorry. Woman. Did I say man? Woman who swallowed 3 liters of vodka. Dude, how could you plead guilty to something after you drank 3 liters of vodka? Like, I'd be like,
she had a plan, though. They had a plan, and they brought the googly eyes to whatever this thing is, art exhibit, whatever, in New York, and stuck eyes to it. So, yeah, good job thinking it was funny. I like that.
$95,000? Who puts the valuation on that one? That's what I want to know.
I'm not sure. Here. What was this? Oh, yeah. There's your cuteness award right here. They're ferrets and packing peanuts.
I was just going to say it'd be cute if they weren't raccoons.
One more time.
Oh my God.
Look, it's a mosh pit.
Oh my God, Hulk. There's another part of that story of that last one.
Uh-oh.
She wasn't only drinking 3 liters of vodka. I think what allowed her to probably function while she was drinking the 3 liters of vodka, and her name was Amelia, an unhinged, oh yeah, many drugs, an unhinged Australian woman who managed to slug 3 liters of vodka, been slapped with a criminal violation, conviction after she glued googly eyes. Amelia Vanderhorst, who was also high on MDMA at the time.
Nice.
The blue statue named the Blue Blob in Mount Gambier late last year. Her lawyer, Michael Hill, blamed her poor judgment on the large amounts of vodka she guzzled and the drugs she'd taken earlier in the night. Wait, those are illegal too, right? MDMA? So wait, you're going to use something you did illegally to justify you doing something else illegally? I don't know if that works nowadays.
Exactly. Here's your other clip right here.
So I hired somebody to redo the bathroom.
Here we go.
So I hired somebody to redo the bathroom. They pulled out the bathtub and put in the new shower thing. And as I'm sitting here trying to figure out where my cat is, I can hear the cat crying from somewhere in here. Only me. Only me. So I end up punching a hole in the wall, and out comes this. Yes. The contractor, the stupid ass contractor, drywalled my cat into the drywall underneath the bathtub. The story of my life. This poor kitty was locked in there for 3 days, stuck underneath the drywall.
All right, chat. Who's at fault, chat? Is that the contractor's fault or the cats or the cat owners? What say you?
3 days. 3 days you're hearing the cat meow in the house.
Dude, and think about it, right? Like, wait, what kind of... You didn't know where your cat was for 3 days? And then, like, wait, you started hearing it? I had to go to the bathroom, and then I heard... Wait, what's that? So what say you, Hulk? Who's the guilty party here?
Well, I'm just going to say that they're very good climbers because my sister's cat twice I've had issues of meow meow when I go out in the living room. And normally the fireplace stuff that's built in the late 70s and 80s that has the brick fireplace, vaulted ceiling 25 feet up. The cat is got the claws on the brick and it's crawled all the way up 25 feet to the top of the ceiling. And it's meowing because they couldn't get down. So that was interesting. Got that one down. The next one, same cat. I'm hearing meowing coming from the ceiling, and it's a condo area, so there's people below us and nobody above us. But I'm hearing meowing coming from what is kind of like a little kitchenette / laundry room area, and kind of this kitchen area in the house I was living at with my parents. And I'm like, where the fuck is this thing? Meow, meow, meow. And it's coming from the ceiling itself. And I have to open up the little slider doors to get on to where the washer and dryer are. And I get up on top of the washer and then remove the little access thing to get into the ceiling area there because they got the little attic or whatever. And I find out that the attic's connected to all the other 3 houses next to it or whatever on there. And the effing cat is up there. Meow, meow. So evidently, and the only thing I could think of is this thing crawled underneath the bathroom sink and then crawled through a hole in the wall and then up the wall with the pipes until it got up to the top. and then hung out there for like all night until I heard it like lunch the next morning.
Oh my godness. Well, let me read a couple of the chats here.
Give me a quick second. I got to go hit the restroom.
Oh, sure. Airman says, I drank a whole bottle of Jack Daniels one night. That was the last time. Oh, yeah. Put anything in the chat, guys. Anything you drank alcohol too much. That night that I was talking about earlier, that was tequila. And there was one more night that was the last night I drank any hard liquor like that. Was me and 3 others shared a big old bottle of Goldschlager. And I'm telling you, I could not smell big red gum for like, I couldn't smell big red gum for like, I don't know, 6 months or a year without getting sick to my stomach. Let's see. G Foncies want some of that MDMA. All right, cats. Let's see. Here it is. Lenny Lou. Good thing it wasn't all tiled, near the drywall side. Motoron says medieval contractor. Lenny Lou. Always blame the cat. New K's cat's fault. G Fonts. Boss said vamonos. Minnesota Patriot 76 says owner. Icy 1 says owner. Life Row Toll says if walls could moo. Cats can teleport. New K says Moria Mima said the cat did it. Contractor's fault. Darling USA 1. Syllabor. Contractor is a dog guy. Interdimensional beings. New K's. Yes, we do need to hear the contractor side of the story. It says Lenny Lou. But I'm gonna go with it's the owners. For my my side of it is, if you got a cat and most cats are kind of all over the place, right? Like they're very inquisitive and they're checking everything out. So I would know where my cat was and make sure, like, if it was working, these guys were working in the bathroom, I would have the cat say either in a cat pen or locked in the bedroom or a bedroom or something like that while the contractors were there. So I don't fault the contractor at all, because I highly doubt he was like, oh, look, I'm going to put this son of a bitch in here. He's going to get stuck. And I can't wait for that phone call later. That's going to be a great review, right? Hulk, I thought video games were later.
I got another interesting gaming video. Here's a 1 in a million moment. This is, again, what is this? Counter-Strike again. For the ending of the game, you shoot people, whatever. The guy's got to defend himself and defuse a bomb at the same time, and if you know the rules, you could play the game. So yeah, I thought this is an interesting representation of I play this game too much. Hear the bomb? See it right there. Smoke over there. Get the gun. See the sniper guy? Threw his gun out. He hit the gun. Got the knife. Oh. Not knowing that, I play the game way too much. Where are we at on time? We're at the 3-hour mark. I think it's time to go check Dominion votes. What do you think, Mr. Spaceshot?
Yeah, what was that game that I showed you? I think we showed it on a live where the guy was doing it said what did 10,000 hours playing this video game look like? Where the guy set up.
That was Counter-Strike also,
wasn't it?
Remember there was 2 guys jumping back and forth where the guy was trying to snipe him. Was that the one?
Well, this dude did he was like a 1-player thing, and then he set up everything, and then the last one was like he blew a car up, and the car flew in the air and killed the last guy.
Oh, okay, that was Far Cry.
Far Cry, yeah, dude, that was crazy.
Yeah, and again, I dropped this one for you guys. Get a little bit of it. Just a teaser.
Where do you think this fighting spirit comes from?
Well, my mother, she was silently competitive, too strong.
How did you know?
Because I could see her when chips were down. She was always incredible, and she had a great fighting spirit, like Braveheart.
So yeah, you can go take a view at that gander. I dropped that back out on the internet last night for everybody out there. Jamie, do you live close to this place, Hulk?
Wow.
Black sea bass caught with a rod and reel by Miss Barrett. The fish weighed 416 pounds. This is a small one, a little bit. It had the length of 7 feet 10 inches in Santa Catalina Island. Yeah, that's 23 miles out off Southern California, off LA. So yeah, that's not far. Take you
Crazy, huh?
less than a half-hour boat ride to get there. Yeah, we've seen this one before, the loop. In their backyard. Yeah, turn it off before you burn it up. Oh, you're dropping more in here, Jamie. Oh, yeah, Carvier, or whatever the hell his name is. He got arrested for shooting a dead
and look at the
alligator.
birds. The bird is going right up to, oh my God, look at that.
You taking video?
Yeah. Oh, look. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That bird is backing him up.
Hey, you taking video? Please God, tell me you are. Oh my God, I've never seen anything like that. Why?
Bad alligator.
Oh?
Yeah, that's going to definitely not taste good. Yeah.
The cricket?
I think he tried to eat a stick, like a stink bug, and spits it back out. Where's our songs?
What was that?
Where are we?
Bug?
Yeah, one of those stink bugs. Cheap Trick, Dream Police for nothing. We need votes.
Got no songs.
Black Metal Melody. I need votes. Dire Straits, Walk of Life. I think we've done this one too. What a time to be alive, hanging out with my grandson, watching Hulk and Spaceshot, comfortably numb. Thank you for your service, Jets. It's interesting. Look, you got 4 on there. That might be the winner. Blondie with Rapture, another old 80s band. We got 2 for Triumph, another great band out there. Fight for the Good Fight, and Impulsible Spam. There it goes. Iron Maiden, The Trooper, another old great band. Ted Nugent, Strange Hold for 3, and a single for Power Man 5000. When the Worlds Collide, are you ready to cut? I remember that song in my head. We got 2 for Living Color and 2 for Leonard Skinner. So last Dominion votes need to be put in now as we start to count these, and no spoken word songs.
Goodness, dude, I dropped you one in the bottom. It's just kind of a funny for is how come we see all these things for No Kings and all the protecting the immigrants and all this stuff? Why is it always old white folks? Look at this, dude.
I preferred crushed ice.
Yeah, now you've pissed off Grandma. Oh God, dude. Look, scroll up a little bit though. It says like, why is it all? It says the No Kings protests are exposing that Democrat base is old white liberals who do nothing except consume fake news, get brainwashed, and pretend to fight tyranny.
Yeah.
Like, where are they supporting themselves? Like, I don't see one person of color in that. Look at white. I don't see no Mexicanos, Mexicanas, no Venezuelans.
Yeah, exactly. That was interesting.
Friggin' dart tournament.
Let's get into where our songs are at.
A stink bug, huh? Never seen that. What is it? Does it kick out something or it just smells stinky?
They either have some sort of chemical reaction or really bad smell. So it just tastes bad, so they can't be eaten. 4, Pink Floyd, Comfortably Numb is going to be the winner.
I don't got enough time to inject Mr. Hanging out.
What version is this one right here?
Right, go over there and vote for Mr. Strictly's Vimeo.
This is the actual movie clip itself. Do a quick audio check. It'll be fine. Sweet. Well, we appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us, leaving comments in the video and in the live chat. If you get a chance to go back over to Twitter, hit the like and the follow and a little retweet out there with the digital girlfriend, boyfriend that you got sitting right next to you. They'd be greatly appreciated. And then again, we always appreciate everybody who donates monetarily. And thank you for the buy me coffee from earlier in the show. Appreciate that. Or actually last night. So much appreciated on all those guys. That's about all I got, Mr. Spaceshot. I am showed out at this point.
Yeah, I got a couple folks to thank. I do. Thank you over here on the old D Lives to Crow Deck, Patriot Chick, and P Dancer are the top 3 contributors over there today. So we do appreciate that and distributing such rewards at you. Hulk, you're gonna be happy. I'm getting myself a mic stand, so I can kind of put it there, and I can kind of this way. I'll be like, kind of like this here, like
a tabletop type
like, so
thing.
I
You screw to the
actually,
table and it's got a boom arm.
Well, yeah, I'm going to have it on the floor. So it'll basically be like this. I'll be at this level here, and I can have the mic with me. And there's a lot. I got the kind of mic off to the side. And then sometimes if I look over here like this, I'm looking at the computer, and I'm not really like this. But this way,
you're on a table, right?
Yeah, I'm on a table. I'm going to be, in the next 2 months, though, I'll be set up with my correct way, the way I can be. I'll be set up very much better with the computer desk and that, all that good stuff. So, yeah. I'm kind of ad hocing it as we speak right here. So the rewards over there on D Live are at y'all. Thank you guys very much for that. Heading over to the foxhole.app and where Bois Blanc dropped a cookie to start us off. No message on that. Thank you there, Bois Blanc. Thank you to Zeta Anon for the ship. I think he put a cowboy hat and a heart there at the end. Zeta Anon, thank you. FVT gifted the can, says, if you like true story movies, Citizen X, 1995, Soviet Union's first serial killer. Absolutely fantastic with Donald Sutherland. Have you seen that?
Can I say a quick comment?
Yeah.
From Babylon B about the Tiger Woods debacle, because I had forgotten this. It says black half of Tiger Woods tased by cops after Asian half crashes car.
Oh, God. Somebody's going to hell for that one.
That's so great, dude.
He's not a bad driver till he's older. You know, if he's an older black man, then you're a bad driver. But had you seen that, dude? I've not seen it.
Greg 3012 donated $10 Rumble rant. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you, sir. Always.
Have you seen that, Hulk? I dropped it for you. Citizen X, 1995, Donald Sutherland, about Soviet Union's first serial killer. I dropped that for you. The link, anyways, in the chat. To the trailer, you can check it out. I'm guys, please, if you any good movies, and Hulk, what was that movie you've been telling everybody to watch that we should all be watching? It was kind of like sci-fi. I want to kind of write that down because I'm literally at an impasse for good movies.
I go through a list of movies to kind of explain a lot of the Anunnaki type fucking weird shit that we're all talking about that shows kind of in the Bible stuff. I would recommend to. I would start with Stargate first.
Yeah, I've seen those.
And then you would want to do Battlefield Earth. It absolutely sucks. It's a long movie, but it's the idea and the control and an Anunnaki type thing. And then you can finish it off with the Fifth Element. It kind of puts all those together at one. Was there another one that's outside of that you're thinking of?
Yeah, it was a different one than that. What was it about? Oh God, it was more. It's like one of those futuristic ones, but maybe it was an older movie. I know you've told us in the past to watch it a few times. It was none of those three there. Anybody in the chat remember what I'm remembering here? Battlestar Galactica, Blazing Saddles. No, I seen that. I've never actually watched Blazing Saddles front to end. I've only watched like little clips. Failsafe. I don't know what that is. I'll definitely take.
What show are you talking about, dude?
What?
I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about.
Used to say to watch it. It was
like not the TV show Mr. Robot.
No, you've said that as well, but no. It was a show. I think it was a techie, or maybe kind of along the Tron type of line, something like that, or something about reality. I don't know. But
not Blade Runner, because that would be kind of a little bit on that side, or TV show Sense8, but that's by the Wachowski sisters and shit like that.
The sisters. Breeze in the chat saying, "Watch Dunes. Watch the Dunes." I've not seen those either.
The new ones are actually pretty damn good. They were done really well. The 70s version, you can see it's okay, but the newer ones were better. But they both have their own storylines.
I'm writing all these things down here. I'm cutting pasting from the chat right now. 13th floor.
I got to see Last Starfighter again. I just happened to watch that trailer the other day.
I did see the toy with Richard Pryor, Jake Gilio, probably about 100 times.
Ghost in the Shell. What freaking thing you keep talking? I don't. Not ringing a bell.
Toy, right?
Yeah.
Pryor. That was great. Napoleon Dynamite was funny. Spaceballs I've seen a million times as well. Devil in a Dress. That Jacob's Ladder. Was that?
That's really good.
That might have.
That's really good.
May have been something along
That
those lines.
that's about Vietnam War type of things and psychological operations and stuff like that. Then the end of the movie, I was like, holy shit.
Dark City. That was a weird way. The way that they did that one.
Yeah.
They filmed
With
it.
Keith or Sutherland.
That was super creepy. All right, let me get back to the thank yous here. FVT also dropped a cookie. Says here's a trailer for Citizen X. I'm definitely going to take a look at the trailer and see maybe the movie as well. Too Manyism. Thank you for the cookie. No message, but thank you. And then Sean Joe, Space Pod member with the can. No message on there, but thank you, brother.
Brazil. Wow.
Brazil. 123 SKG with a cookie. No message. Thank you for that one. Sean Joe follows up with another cookie. No message on there, but thank you, brother. And then no thanks, Joe, with a cookie. Says nice to be hanging out with the both of you on this fine Saturday afternoon. Great to have the info and serious chilled attitude. God bless and please stay safe. Appreciate that. No thanks, Joe. Punk Q Rocker with 217 traditional gold pills. Appreciate that. Punk Q Rocker. The last two is R. Excuse me, not is R. Sean Joe with the cookie. No message. Thank you on that, brother. And then Lizzie B. Lizzie B. We'll see you tomorrow as well, I'm sure. And the rest of you guys with a cookie. No message on that one, but thank you. And we ended with 18 in the gold pills. 17. Somebody gave an extra 1 at the end. Thank you for that, guys. And I'm releasing said scratchings. Mr. Hulkanator, anybody else you need to thank? Do we need to do Dominion voting again? Do we need to get it?
I think I already got it queued up, so it's going to win. Let me go see if I could. I'm trying to see if I got.
Getting 3 for Mr. Quick. We'll play it at the end.
That's not. I was going to bring out another movie to watch as long as I find the right title.
Play at the very end. Might play that one, and then, like I said, kids got it. You say you're looking? I'm looking.
No, that's not it. I'll find it later. I'll share it with you guys later because that's not the same thing over there on that side. So again, appreciate everybody hanging out with us. It's much appreciated with comments and follows. And also, if you're on repeat, just make a comment at the bottom of the video in the comment section. All helps out with the algorithm. And make sure you follow us on Twitter. And like Spaceshot always says,
we do appreciate each and every one of you wonderful world patriots for tuning in out there. And until that next one, have a great rest of your weekend. Thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Peace. That was weird.
Much love. Be good humans.
Peace. There you go.
You can bet your boots it's going to be something big. They say it's a special appointment to kidnap Hitler. Who's that big dog by the table? That's young. You ever see the second big dog? Dingy young. He always comes out to see him have his only his brother.
Is there anybody out there? Fuck me. Hello, hello, hello. Is there anybody in there? Just not if you can hear me. Is there anyone at home? Come on now. I hear you're feeling down. Well, I can ease your pain, get you on your feet again. Relax, relax. I'll need some information first. Just the basic facts. Can you show me where it hurts? There is no pain, you are receding. A distant ship, smoke on the horizon. lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying. When I was a child, I had a fever. My hands felt just like two balloons. Now I've got that feeling once again. I can't explain, you will not understand. This is not how I am. I have become comfortably numb. Just a little pinprick. There'll be no more. But you may feel a little sick. Can you stand up? I do believe it's working. Good. That'll keep it going for the show. Come on, it's time to go. There is no pain, you are receding. Like distant ship smoke on the horizon. You are only coming through in waves. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying.
special is happening in here. That's right, it's brackets and jackets, bringing it back for brackets and jackets. Special Epstein Island edition. That's right, folks, Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, the man with the island, which is suspiciously close to Haiti. That's right. You see this man, Jeffrey Epstein, is funding lots of people. He's funding lots of people on the street to make sure his shit doesn't get out. That's right. They want the record sealed. And they're paying a lot of people. Epstein's paying a lot of people. Oh boy. For one, he's got a whole Mossad media matrix in America. And I would bet you anything that Alex Jones is one of them. Prove me wrong. That's right, Cappy's in the portal. Cappy's in the portal. Cappy's in the building with songs about Epstein. It's Breakfast Jacket's Epstein edition. Guys, I had some epiphanies today. I had some real big epiphanies about some guys. A big network of guys and spies and lies and liars. All right, think about this for a minute, okay? The guy in Portland, the scientist that just got busted for producing CP, that guy is 1 degree of separation away from Epstein. Epstein, the investor that lives in West Palm Beach, Florida. I know a guy who lives in West Palm Beach, Florida as well. Investor as well. Also involved as well. And all is not well with these guys. The Florida boys, the Glow boys, the Scott Israels of the world. You see, Epstein is Hillary Clinton. And Epstein is Haiti. And Epstein is a big network of media assets. By the way, did you know that Steve Bannon was going to that guy for money? Also, Epstein is Epstein Oprah. Epstein is Chris Tucker. You remember him. Epstein is also Kevin Spacey. Epstein is also Prince Andrew. Epstein is also... Who else is Epstein? Who else is Epstein? Tell me. You guys know? Who else is Epstein? Is Epstein Big Pharma? Is Epstein Bryan Singer? Is Epstein Naomi Campbell? Yep, all of the above. All of the above. Who is Epstein? Epstein is the keystone of a whole motherfucking matrix. And once you pull it out, it all falls down. Dersh was there too. That's right, we're dropping red pills every day. Dropping red pills in the best kind of way. This is brackets and jackets for the denizens of islands.
Bing, bing, bing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do one more kids guy because I'm doing this stuff full time. And then I'm going to play Captain Bello / Mr. Swickley's Lies and Laws. And then we're out of here. Ladies and... Or maybe we're out of here right away. Might be out of here immediately. Or right onto the song here. Problem likes to do. See? Won't do it. All right, guys. Lies and Laws. Oh, actually, hold on. Might be doing it. Might be letting me do it here. Let's see. If not, we go. Oh, and we gone. You guys have yourselves a great rest of your weekend. A great rest of your weekend. As I stated, this is Lies and Laws compilation from OH58 Captain and Mr. Swickley. And then we out. Have a good night, guys.
I'll say a little prayer for you. I'm beginning
has planned. Judges, lawyers, and politicians have got you by the balls. Regulations and dissertations that lead you to cell walls with their lies and their laws and their laws to control. Judges, lawyers, and politicians have finally cut your